Welcome to Smokes and Rearview Mirrors. I'm your host, Van.
And I am another host, Cars.
Okay. So, constant viewers who have a keen eye might observe that I recently shaved my head. Now, as I was brainstorming the topics for today's episode, I was actually tempted to talk about baldness, male pattern baldness, how it affects males and bald females psychologically and the whole shtick. But I've decided that that's for another episode. So yeah, I've just brought up the fact that I am now bald.
I think it makes sense because it would be I guess you would have more insight when you go through like growing your hair back again, and then you can remember more of how it feels like rather than at the moment.
It feels very comfortable. I think this is going to be my new look in the foreseeable future or until I decide to get hair implants.
That would be cool. If I would get hair implants, I would have.
You're
for
not
my
balding
beard. No,
anyway.
for my beard,
Oh.
because my beard is more of the balding look than
Yeah.
in the head. What the hell?
Is that a thing? Beard pattern baldness?
Oh yeah, I mean even because if you see right now, my beard sucks. Like it's
Patchy.
yeah, patchy, and then like how there's a big difference with how beards look like from like an Arabic guy to like even Asians in general. Like most Asians, except I guess Japanese, most of the Japanese they have solid
Solid
beards.
beards.
Yeah, so I'm more of the other camp where it sucks.
The Chinese ones with
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Chinese villains.
And me with my mustache, it's more of a Hispanic, I think.
No, no, your mustache is very Chinese.
Chinese. Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, like with that, like I can also get hair implants for that if I do have the money in the future. Although I don't know yet. Maybe.
Well, speaking of implants, my eyebrows are tattooed anyways, and I have fake teeth. So
Now
the
that made me
next
think.
natural progression is the hair transplant.
That just made me think. Why don't? No, not it actually is stupid. But why don't we? Sabihin ko sana, why don't we get? Why don't I get na lang beard tattoos like that?
Beard microblading.
And for your head hair tattoo. Pero
That's actually a thing.
kalbo pa
But
rin yun.
yeah, I think the transplants would look much better because
Yeah, of course.
even before he had a career in being the handsome leading guy. Who's that guy? The one in True Detective.
Through Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, before he became
Oh, he's not. He was born.
he had male pattern baldness before
Like
before
that-
his current look.
I was thinking because I just remembered. I just know his name, but I thought you meant the other guy in that show, the other detective.
No, that guy's a bald actor. He has a constant bald look.
Yeah. That's why I thought you meant him, who has the pattern baldness and did something about it. But I don't know. So, have you ever? Is there anything that has
There's
Matthew
picture-
McConaughey bald?
I can't say a movie right now, but there are a lot of pictures pre-hair transplant.
He was
He was pulling a Vegeta before.
he was already
before.
famous then.
I think so.
Oh, interesting. Well, anyway, I think we should get to the topics already. Like, we
Well, not the
spent a lot of
topics
time.
because what we've been for such a long time. What we've been trying to make our thing is trying out new drinks and recommending them.
Yeah.
So right now, I will be drinking soju still, but this is a different flavor. These flavors are new to me for today.
Let's see.
So let's see. Here.
Yogurt? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that online. It's like,
Okay.
Yakult.
So I will be drinking yogurt
Nice.
soju, and for our how much episodes have we recorded so far?
This is number 8, actually. Last time we said it was number 6, but it's a mistake.
for 7 episodes, we've been drinking a green apple soju. But for today, for the first time, I will be drinking just plain apple, not green apple.
Red apple.
Red apple.
did may joke ako parang corny.
Go ahead.
No, you just left the green apple and then it just turned into a red apple. Na
Yeah,
hinog na siya.
apple does not turn into red apple when ripe. Green
Really?
apple is green apple, period.
really?
Oh my god, that's common knowledge,
I
man.
don't know. Is it so? What does a
So
red
you're
apple if?
smarter today.
What is a red apple if it's when it's not ripe yet? Is it already red?
Yes.
So I guess what I was thinking of was the mango. Where
Yeah, yeah.
okay. Oh yeah, I get it because they're well. I haven't seen unripe apple yet.
Mango and banana. You're thinking of
No,
mango.
banana. Wait. Well, yeah,
Banana
banana is
starts
also
green.
a bit green, but even if it's yellow, it could still be not good to drink. To eat. Like there's the different.
Well,
When
I'm not a chef, but I think you can consume unripe bananas as long as you cook them. Cook them.
yeah. I mean, in a general sense, like people would rather eat it when it actually is like soft and good to eat.
I think I'll be starting with the plain apple because yogurt's such a wacky flavor that yeah.
Well,
I want a progression here.
that's the mix that people usually just do. So now we can just skip it and
But it's wacky because now it's the actual soju
Yeah.
that with yogurt inside.
yeah. Well, I guess while you're preparing that, my choice of drink for today is this Monkey Shoulder. One of the best budget whiskeys. Like not really budget like Jack Daniels or Johnny Walker, but it's a bit more expensive. But for I guess what I'm saying is in terms of good quality whiskey, or at least enthusiast types of whiskeys, this is one of the better ones. And also good whiskey for people to get into when they haven't really drank alcohol yet, because it's more of a sweet caramel creme brulee type of whiskey. Although yeah, if you've never drank whiskey, it's still how do you say this? It still tastes like alcohol. Less like if you drank.
No,
drinking-
that was my experience.
Yeah, if you
in,
drink
drinking
anything-
monkey shoulder.
So when you just get more used to it, and I guess even in comparison with other whiskeys, like even if like for someone like me, or maybe even for maybe not for a beginner, but for someone like me, like even if I can taste the alcohol here, it's not as much as compared to others, or yeah, not as complex. It's also not a complex type of whiskey. Also, that's one thing I like about it.
Well, I hope you bring complex whiskeys in the future.
I hope I can buy them too, so that I can.
You
bring
hope
them.
you can afford those
Yeah.
complex whiskeys in the
Yeah,
future.
so that I can bring them and then we can try it. But for now, I'm gonna drink that. What do you say this? I'm gonna drink this like after your part, like what we did last time. We had his part in the break, but now I'm just gonna drink some coffee that they made here. I don't know what type of coffee it is.
Well, since I doubt we'll get back into this, I might as well say that upon tasting this apple soju, it tastes less artificial. The sweetness, it tastes less artificial than the green one.
Oh,
So the plain red soju, I'd say it tastes more fresh and less artificial. It's a clean taste.
that's weird. Like, because I imagine usually the green, like the taste of green apple has a more fresh feel to it.
I think artificial green is so
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a thing.
Yeah. The different
As opposed to
it's
just
different when it's
plain
artificial
apple.
green. Yeah. I get
Kind of like artificial banana taste. That's so strong.
That's like I don't know, like the what do you call that? The liquid concentrated banana flavor that they can
Yeah,
put.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
really different. I don't like that. And like I was also thinking, I guess while we're still on the topic of your red apple soju, like I guess the most popular flavor for shisha, because right now let's also talk about what we're smoking. I'm smoking a mix of cherry, and then the last time I had before was the cashmere peach. You remember? So cherry, cashmere peach, and then just cane mint. So the only thing that's different here is cherry. But anyway, with the shisha, the most popular flavor is double apple. And they say that at least from pictures of like what the brands would like to describe it, it's more of a mix of green apple and red apple. But then when you really get into it, like with enthusiasts and all that, the thing that they say is that it only tastes like instead of apple, it's just anise, which is like the closest thing. If you don't know the taste of, if you don't know what anise is, I guess not anise, but anise, anise. It tastes. Have you tried? Do you know those red. What do you call that?
Licorice?
Yeah, red licorice. So that's the taste that they say that the double apple has, and I guess from there I just want to ask, like, do you think there's something like that with the red apple soju?
No, I have no such thoughts. What I'm just getting now is tastes like apple.
So it's more
tastes
natural,
Fresh.
just
Yeah,
natural. Nice. I hope they can get that flavoring for shisha as well.
But right now that you mentioned it, is there ever a fresh taste when smoking shisha?
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
ever feel fresh when
Yeah.
smoking a particular
That's
flavor?
like one thing that they really try to. Well, not I don't think all brands try to, but like brands that usually newer brands or anything like that that stray away from traditional flavors, they try to go for freshness when it comes to other stuff. So for me, one of the most like fresh vibes I get from a flavor is when it comes with coldness, not mint, not like this cane mint. Like there's a flavor.
So it makes you feel fresh as opposed
Yeah.
to tasting fresh.
I know what's the difference with that, but it tastes fresh to me.
Okay.
Yeah. So the closest one I had was when it came to double apple. At least was called icy double apple from Afzal, and yeah, that has the icy part there without the minty taste. It really gives more of a like you're biting into a fresh apple kind of
Oh,
taste.
okay. Okay.
From the ref, not just an apple out of the grocery or something.
For our international viewers, I hope we get some. Ref means refrigerator.
Do they not call it ref?
They call it fridge.
Oh, so you have the other half.
Yeah.
Wait, naisip ko lang bigla. Because in Japan, just talking about this for now, like, diba kasi dito we call McDonald's McDo.
Yes.
In Japan, there's also like that, I think in Okinawa or Osaka.
In America, they call it Mickey D's.
Yeah. And in Australia, they call it Macca's. But in Tokyo, they call it Mac. Just Mac. Without the do. So I'm wondering if there's a place that just calls it do or Donald. I don't know. It's just funny. Like with a ref and then a fridge.
Okay, so I suppose now we get into the topics now.
We're already 12 minutes into it, man.
Okay. So, I did not pull this topic out of my ass. I got the idea from 4chan thread.
Credit where credit's due.
Yeah. So, this is for today we'll be discussing philosophy in anime.
Oh. Was that I was just wondering, could that have come from watching Eva? Or are you gonna talk about it or
No, I will not be talking about Eva today.
Okay.
So from that thread, from what I remember, in Legend of the Galactic Heroes, the philosophy there is war and peace.
did you watch that anime already?
No.
Me too.
And in Madoka, there's Faust.
Oh.
And in Berserk, there's Nietzsche. And yeah, that's all I can remember for now.
Is
And
that what you also researched, those three specifically?
I researched two.
Okay. Among those three.
Yeah.
Okay.
So today I'll be talking about Madoka and Berserk, of course. So let's start with Madoka. For non-anime watchers, Madoka is a magical girl anime. So think Sailor Moon and the like.
Yeah.
But people often call Madoka a subversion of the genre. Because instead of, cute and wholesome things and defeating bad guys episodically, Madoka gets dark. Dark in a way that these magical girls die when confronting the bad guys.
So it's more of like there's a real risk when you're trying to be a hero.
Yes. And even darker than, caution, I'll be spoiling stuff.
It's okay. I haven't watched it, but I'm okay.
Well, the viewers might have not watched it. So, eventually, in the later episodes, we learned that these magical girls have been forming a pact to become a magical girl throughout history. And in the end, the process of being a magical girl in combating evil so much it's inevitable that they become evil themselves.
Oh.
They become the bad guys they try to beat in each episodes.
Ah, okay. So the bad guys that they're fighting were former magical girls.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool. Is that also a spoiler?
Yes.
It's okay.
And so it's the moral or the problem here is that the problem that's pushed forth here is that why become magical girls in the first place? Why why even try to help people when you'll eventually become a bad guy? Why even try to form a pact?
Yeah.
And I think Madoka ended with a conclusion that being a magical girl is not worth it. Because it ended with Madoka sacrificing her time with her loved ones to become this sort of goddess to end the cycle. So instead of, future young girls becoming magical girls, there will just be this goddess, Madoka, that will protect people from evil, even in the future.
Well, like, I'm just wondering if that's the case, where will the evil still come from, or is there other evil that's not from former magical girls there?
Well, yeah, since I've spoiled so much, I'll just spoil it. Even with the end of the witches, the bad guys they were combating, there comes another evil anyway.
Okay, so like aliens or whatever, just
Yeah.
anything else that can come. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
so evil will always exist.
I just remembered from that because I don't know. I don't know, maybe you thought about this when you heard research that it's kind of similar to how the plot twist was in Final Fantasy X.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, right?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
you
yeah.
become sin and then
The summoner goes through this torturous pilgrimage only to become the next bad guy.
And I guess I also answered the last part about like having other evils that maybe not from magical girls themselves or former magical girls. I was wondering at first also, like, if that's the case, like why was the first ever, I guess, magical girl ever made? But I guess that's also answered by there were other evils in the
Okay.
past.
So just to explain the lore further, magical girls exist. The pact exists because these girls with normal lives who they see that if they become magical girls, they'll fix this problem. They form a pact with this creature. In the show, the creature is named Kyubey.
So
And
9 something.
so these creatures, from what I remember, they offer a pact, right? They give powers to these girls because instead of food, they consume the suffering.
Instead of what?
Instead of food,
Food.
to
Okay.
sustain themselves, they
The magical
eat
girls?
suffering
That's what the magical girls do.
and anguish.
So-
This is what the creature
The
does.
creature does.
Yes.
Okay.
The magical girls help people. As they help, they suffer more and more. And
so
from
it's-
that suffering, that the creature eats.
So
that
it was
suffering.
so it was really a trick from the start, not just
Well, the magical girls do end up helping people.
yeah.
So even if it's a trick, in a way, that creature, that evil creature. Well, I wouldn't call the creature evil, but that harmful creature ends up
Yeah.
helping people ultimately.
Well, yeah. I mean, and also like if that's the only way he can eat, and then there's no choice, he had to do it.
Funny thing in the show is that Joan of Arc was revealed to
To be a magical girl.
yeah, she made a pact to become a
So
magical.
she
girl
really
event-
was a witch. See, they weren't wrong about persecuting her from being a witch. Is the Salem witch trials also there? Like, was it talked about there?
I don't remember, but there was a Joan of Arc part, and there was another part in Africa with the shamans and all.
Oh, too bad they didn't have Filipinos there, witch doctors. But yeah, I mean, because the thing, I don't know if this is like just going further from the philosophy part and just more into the anime. Like, wouldn't it make sense for like I still don't see why the creature had to make magical girls for there to be suffering. It's like, are they saying if there were never any magical girls, there wouldn't be suffering?
Well, I think it had to be the suffering of the magical girl,
So
not just
they
the
can just
suffering of people.
they can just feed suffering of the magical girl, not suffering, because I thought like if they help people, they would be happy, but then they'll still suffer eventually from some other reason, and then but it's more of the suffering of the magical girl from like
Yes,
stress of
yes,
helping
yes,
out people.
yes.
Okay, I get that. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is like defending an evil being or whatever, but like if that's the only way he could eat, he had no choice, or she had no choice, or it had no choice.
Well, that's why I can't call that being evil. It's the
Yeah.
being is neutral at the end.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So right now, I bet
Yeah,
you're
what's the
thinking, where does the philosophy
philosophy?
come in? The philosophy that's being is the word reference, but
Yeah.
anyway, you get me. The philosophy here is Johann. I don't want to butcher the name, but I'll try to pronounce it right. Johann Goethe.
Goethe.
Goethe. It's from the way it's spelled. You would pronounce it as Goeth,
Okay.
but in German it's
Goethe.
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 So yeah, from my research, Goethe was a very interesting guy. He was into politics, policy making, but he was also interested in science. Kind of like us, we're interested in
Okay, just interested. Not he wasn't really that into.
interested, and he dabbled into them.
Okay,
He was
okay.
an
He was actually a scientist, or
it's
what?
the word everyman.
I get.
he was-
I'm thinking. Oh wait, he was an everyman because I was thinking he might have been like a Renaissance man.
I describe him as a Renaissance
Yeah.
man.
Okay,
He's
okay.
he's part-time politician,
he does
part-time
everything.
scientist. In fact, now that you mentioned that, he actually disapproved of what we think as a modern scientist. He was very disapproving of the vibe of the likes of Isaac Newton, where
Yeah. What part of it? I don't really know what like a
because
modern
the vibe
scientist
of
is.
scientists like Isaac Newton is it's very impersonal science for knowledge
okay.
sake,
Yeah,
no
yeah.
feelings, and Goethe didn't like that shit.
So what he wanted there to be feelings when it came to
To science, and he wanted scientists to not be just these bookworm nerds. He wanted them to live, dabble in everything in life.
Okay, I can get that. It makes sense. And then I don't know if maybe some scientists who will probably watch this or not. Like I don't know if they would agree that that's how they live. Like from just how I think about it, it could be like this is their science life, and then they have their personal life where they can feel. It's not like they don't feel anything at all.
Well, I think the point here is that he did not approve of separating the science life from the personal life. He wanted
Okay.
science to be more personal.
I can see that. I can see
And
that.
yeah, and
Yeah, where does Madoka Magica come in there?
wait a second. From my research, I really looked up to this. I started looking up to this Goethe guy. So forgive me for going in deep.
More onto who he is.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
So his first novel, his first work was it's a romance novel. Where it's about a guy who had this affair with a girl who was already married, and they exchanged letters, flirtations. In Filipino we'd call it very many kilig moments.
Okay. Okay.
The guy and the girl will be sitting across each other at the table, and their feet would accidentally touch. That sort of shit, and it ends with the guy killing himself because the girl ultimately did not want to cheat on her husband.
Okay, so she had a husband. That's something I didn't know at the start. Okay. So what else about him?
So after this, I think he developed a more cynical view on things. Though I wouldn't say cynical because
Wait, the character or
the author,
okay,
Goethe.
Goethe. Wait. The one who committed suicide, was that the a character or Goethe?
The character.
Okay.
So after this, he focused more on his work, his most famous work, Faust.
I think I've heard of that. I thought it was a name, but it's not.
Actually, it's not his original creation. I think I wouldn't say myth or folklore, but this character is, I think, what's that word? You're a lawyer. You should know this. It's public.
Public knowledge. Public information.
The public, like the Happy Birthday song.
Okay, public property or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. So he was not the only author who wrote
Okay, okay,
about
I get what you mean. I get
Faust.
it. It's like it might have originated from like a myth, but then nobody has rights to it, so anyone can write about it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay.
So, but between Goethe and the other author, there's a common theme to Faust. This is the basic story of Faust.
Yeah, yeah.
Guy,
I was gonna ask that.
okay, a guy is dissatisfied with his life. He comes across a devil, Mephistopheles,
Okay.
and he makes a deal with the devil that he would sacrifice his soul to become the Uber Giga Chad who can do anything he wants.
Okay.
Become a ultra strong, ultra smart Ubermensch. And we'll get into Nietzsche later.
Did that term come from there?
No,
or-
no, no.
Okay. No.
So with Goethe's Faust, his Faust makes a deal with the devil. So at first, the guy Faust wanted to really become a big brain kind of guy, you know. So he dabbled after the deal. He dabbled in books, but his conclusion after there was that so I'm smart, but what next? What do I do with the knowledge? So the next part, he really gets into action. He wants to do instead of just think. And basically, in one very interesting moment, he goes into a pub, gets everyone there drunk, and they all have an orgy.
So that was his plan.
For action.
Okay.
Well, one of the things he did.
Okay.
And after that, the conclusion was, so yeah, I'm doing things, but am I doing important things? So what's there after sex? What's there after pleasure? So after that, with his knowledge and Chad abilities, he eventually makes a new government, a new country, and thereby making the lives of many people better.
Okay.
And the YouTube video I watch ends there, but I read more because Goethe was a very really interesting guy. So the ending actually of Goethe's Faust was that he, even with the deal, even after dying, he eventually ascended into heaven because of the good he's done.
Okay. So even if he sold his soul to the devil.
Yes.
Okay. So it's a positive story.
Yes.
Oh, that's nice.
But what's interesting here is that in Madoka, I think the message in Madoka is it's not worth it to make a deal with that devil.
So it's
Because
how Madoka goes against magical girls, like typical magical girls, it also went against the Faust story.
yeah, it has Faustian themes, but it goes against those themes.
Yeah.
One another interesting thing about my readings is that when Faust was making a deal with the devil, this is the specific deal. So I become an Uber Giga Chad, right? But I may still live a long time even after the deal, and maybe the devil will get a short hand of the bargain because the guy will get basically everything. So the final deal is that should Faust become so happy in one particular moment that he could accept death and just think that I could stay in this moment forever and then die after. That's when the devil can take his soul.
Okay. So he never felt that.
Yeah, he all even after that is country the word. So even after that even after he made many people happy, Faust kept wanting more. He wanted to do more good, and so the devil never got to claim his soul. And so when he died, yeah, heaven.
That heaven. So, not really from the story. Like, one thing that I was thinking about when everything you've told about Goethe, he sounds like a very positive guy.
Yeah, he
Like,
was.
you really want.
I think if put into short words, Goethe's philosophy was that you should dabble in dangerous things, questionable things, as long as you have an end goal, a good end goal. So make deals with all the devils you want as long as it's for good.
Well, in that sense, okay. So I can see where some people would have issue with that also.
Yeah.
It's like what do you call that? Like would that justify like a drug dealer if he was donating everything to charity?
Well, maybe Goethe would
Yeah,
approve.
something like that, right? Like those things, like people always have those arguments and justifications, like, oh, I might be doing something wrong, or like even when it comes to like just regular people, I guess like maybe some people, uh, in modern times, I'm from how I see it, it's there people aren't really following Goethe's philosophy, because like yeah, if you have like someone who robs a bank, but then he was doing it for his family because they have nothing to eat, then he would still be punished. So it's that's not how I mean, sorry, that's how the world is. It's not like if you have a proper justification for the crime you're doing, then it would be okay. But yeah, there's also, it also goes to my mind is going through a lot of different scenarios with this, because like how can you justify, how can you say, at least with the example I gave, like someone who robs a bank, how can you say that that was his last option? You can, people like when you talk to, I guess, positive quote unquote people, like they say you always have something else to do that's better than like the deal with the devil type of thing you're doing. Like they could be possibly like other people could think like maybe uh Faust, his name, yeah, Faust's thing, it doesn't justify his action of dealing with the devil, because he could have probably still done a lot of good without selling his soul, something like that. I don't know. I'm not towards one side or the other. I'm just thinking about these.
Well, you're talking very realistically, but this is a world where the devil exists,
Oh
and
yeah.
you can make a deal.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, and then like if you know, if everyone knows that, then everyone can just make a deal with the devil. Like unless the devil
In the
changes.
real world, there would be probably devil dealing laws.
Yeah, yeah. And then like maybe in Faust's story, like if we have like a sequel or something where everyone is doing the same thing as Faust, like maybe the devil should probably change his terms of his contract, because he doesn't want to just keep losing all the time. Or maybe it's still, maybe like if I was a devil, just thinking about like he can maybe not change his stuff, like it could still work out for him. If like, why would he even have that contract in the first place if it doesn't work right? Like maybe some people would still fall for it.
No, no, no. The devil was very keen on Faust because one important detail I missed. And admittedly, my research was not deep enough to know the reason for this. But Faust was apparently God's favorite person.
Okay. When is that? Was there a reason for that?
I don't know. But that's why the devil was so keen on
So you just wanted,
claiming his soul.
okay, so you just wanted to take away God's favorite
Person.
person. Okay, okay. I thought you were gonna say it was like that. Was what I was thinking is like if you're the devil, like you're gonna make a contract with someone that you know who's gonna fuck up, but then they didn't fuck up, something like that.
Yeah, well, the devil aims high in this story.
Yeah, he's a high roller. Is that the right term, high roller?
Yeah,
Okay.
high roller.
Because I just remembered high rolling in games, and then that means you're lucky.
Kinda like in Runeterra when you use Heart of the Fluff. That's
Yeah, high
the
rolling.
devil was a Heart of the Fluff kinda guy.
He was an all-in type of guy, really hopeful of just one thing. That's cool. Is there anything
Hoping
else?
the enemy has no hush.
Well, now that we have, oh yeah, that would fuck up. What does happen with Heart of the Fluff if it gets everything?
It becomes that vanilla 4-4.
Ah, really? It loses all of the
Yeah.
of the absorption also.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Have you seen that already?
Well, I have enough knowledge of the mechanics that I'd say it's a safe assumption.
Oh yeah. Well, it's always weird because like, just like the other day when you showed me the judgment thing with the spell shield, it doesn't work.
No, okay. The spell shield is weird.
Yeah.
But it makes sense that I won that exchange because I killed the dog first before Asol.
Yeah, yeah. No, because I was thinking was how do you say that? What I was thinking here was with what's his name? No, with with Hush. Does it work as the same thing as that other Purify? Does it work in the same way as
Hush
Purify?
is only for one round.
Yeah. I mean, but then the way it silences, is it the same as
Yeah,
Purify?
same.
Yeah. Because I forgot if I saw this before. Like I might have a wrong memory for like this. Like usually when I think about Purify, it just takes out the the other effects, like if you have barrier or whatever, or undying. Yeah.
all the fucking buffs.
All the
All the
fucking.
buffs and keywords.
Okay, okay. So is that it for Madoka, or you want? Is there anything
Yeah,
else?
that's it. I was, aside from, pushing a good anime, I was also pushing a great guy. Well, I believe he's great.
Yeah, he does sound great. It would be nice to have
Meet him.
his yeah, and then have his philosophy as well. Because like we're already like at 30 minutes, man. So going on to the next topic, or at least the next
That was
philosophy.
30 minutes?
Well, from the start, yeah, not just that part.
Okay.
I think it took about 15 minutes or so with the whole Madoka Magica part, or 20 minutes.
That was very tiring, but yeah, I guess I have to get into the next topic.
Go go go.
The next topic is Berserk. So in Berserk, how do I shorten Berserk?
Summary.
Berserk is about, the main character is this very big and brawny swordsman. His name is Guts.
Big and
it's-
brawny name also.
Yeah, and his sword is also big and brawny. It's about Guts, and Guts is a swordsman who's keen on defeating his arch nemesis, Griffith, whose devil name is Femto. And the anime starts
I
with,
didn't even know he was a devil.
it can be.
Is that something you know from
You
the
can
start?
call Femto a devil or a god. It's very
But
interchangeable.
is that something? Is that a spoiler? Or is that something you
Of
know
course,
for the? Okay.
it's spoiler. This is a spoiler episode. So the anime, it chronicles Guts' meeting with Griffith and how he joins Griffith's mercenary group, and they have good times and bad times. People die here and there, and Griffith, through sheer bad luck, or maybe it's his destiny, Griffith is captured by. Oh, no, no, no! I remember now. Griffith, in his ambition to become the ruler of the whole nation, she seduces the daughter
What?
of
She?
the king. Griffith's a guy.
Okay.
Griffith seduces the daughter of the king. And through his destiny or bad luck, the king is very an incestuous creep. The king likes his daughter.
Okay.
And so when the king discovers that Griffith's been putting the moves on his daughter, captures him, places him in a dungeon, tortures Griffith for months, and Griffith ends up becoming like that guy from our previous episode, Aoichi.
Okay. Okay. So where are we going from this?
Griffith is skinned, maimed.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's
So basically,
can't
just
even call him a person anymore at this point. But then through it's
the
ultimately
power of
destiny.
science.
It's ultimately his destiny. Griffith comes across this artifact, the Behelit. And through this artifact, he makes a deal with the devil,
Okay.
kind of like Faust, where if he sacrifices his whole beloved mercenary group,
Okay.
then he can become a god.
Okay. So he wasn't a god before.
He was not a god
Okay.
before, just a very excellent human being.
Okay. So where are we going from here?
Should I now insert the philosophy?
Oh yeah, introduction, like what you did earlier. Introduction first to who the
So where
philosopher
does
is.
the philosophy come into this? From that fortune, Fred, it's Nietzsche. So
So who is Nietzsche first? Just like
Okay.
you did the introduction to God, or are you just not biased with him?
I'm not biased with Nietzsche. I mean, I agree with his views, some of his views, but he's, in my opinion, not as awesome as Goethe.
What are his views, by the way?
His
Just
view-
a summary.
Well, Nietzsche is two things.
Is he the one who said God is dead?
God is dead.
Okay.
But let's get into it. Nietzsche is very anti-religion. He thinks religion is escapism.
Mm-hmm.
So he sees that people who are very devout Catholics see things that they want but could not have. And so they turn to religion to justify their being. So if a guy sees that my God, Chad is having more sex than me. So through incel brain gymnastics, he will say that, oh no, being a Chad is very immoral anyways. Uh, Chastity is the way.
Okay, okay. I kind of see that. It's a way to justify your thoughts.
And so his second philosophy is that people should not, well, I wouldn't say, because it connects. The second thing is that people should not escape pain. In fact, they should use whatever pain they're experiencing as a tool for introspection on how to better themselves, on how to get what they want. So if a person envies another person, then that should clarify that person on what he or she wants.
That makes sense. Also, that sounds good to me.
Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of clear cut, right? So Griffith experienced pain, but he was very ambitious, and he never lost sight of his goal. And so even if going through more pain by sacrificing his beloved comrades, he achieved godhood.
So from how I'm seeing this, it's like
But then again, like in Madoka, where the anime is, going against the philosophy of that philosopher.
yeah. Same with
Griffith
Berserk.
is the villain here.
Yeah, that's why. Because I was about to
No
say like it
question.
doesn't sound like he's a villain.
Nietzsche wouldn't probably wouldn't see him as a villain,
Yeah.
but he's the villain in this story.
Like, does he act like a villain? Like, does he do villainous things when he achieved godhood, or is he?
Well, it's very villainous. The scene of the sacrificing of his comrades. It was
Yeah.
very graphic.
Yeah, no. Because like what I'm thinking of is like, if we were to compare this to like the what's his name again, the Faust story, like if he did that, but then he goes on to make a good country and then just make a lot of people happy.
Is
that-
the funny thing here is that I think now in the current chapters of Berserk, Griffith is now the ruler of the country, and I think he actually has made the country better. But
Okay. So
yeah, from the protagonist's point of view, that does not
Yeah. From the
excuse all the shit he's doing and all
Yeah.
the shit he did.
exactly.
Because just to get a bit graphic here, the comrades, the mercenary group, they were cut in half, maimed, and just to rub it in Guts' face, he even raped Guts' love interest in front of him.
Who?
As a god. Casca's the love interest.
Wait. Griffith did that.
Griffith, yeah.
So
raped.
why did he do that?
Because there has always been, throughout their journey, there has always been this sort of tension between the three of them. It's sort of a love triangle, wherein Casca was always in love with Griffith,
Okay.
but Griffith was very ambitious, distant man,
Yeah.
and because Griffith's the leader and Guts and Casca are basically pawns. Guts and Casca spent more time together, and eventually they developed feelings for each other. And yeah, they went together. But at the end of it all, Griffith raped Casca in front of Guts.
Yeah, like, cause just from that, it already sounds like he wasn't just because, again, with the deal that you said, it was just to kill the mercenary group. Like, why did he have to do extra bad things from there? So
well, just from the name mercenary group, he was always doing bad things at the start. But I think when he became that god, one of the values, loyalty, was thrown out the window. Loyalty and friendship. Because the sacrifice always has to be something heavy. It's not like, I can just sacrifice a person, maybe even my enemy. It's not like that. It has to be something you care about.
yeah.
So Griffith really loved that group, but
And even from there, like, I'm already thinking, how did he get the godhood if Guts didn't die?
what do you mean?
Because Guts is part of the mercenary group, right?
Yes.
And the mercenary group had to die for him to get his godhood. But then, well, I guess as a group, the group, quote unquote, died. But then a member of a group.
Maybe the deal doesn't specify a number. It's just to kill your mercenary group, and he did that. It's just that one survived because
It was out of his control already. That monster.
It was out of his control.
makes
Another
sense.
major character saved Guts
Okay,
from
okay.
that.
Makes sense.
It's called the Eclipse, that fateful night.
Okay, so is that is that it with the story?
Yeah, I think that's it. Unless you have more pressing questions, I can answer because I'm really into Berserk. So whatever questions you have, I can answer.
No, it's really it's just still with the philosophy, but it makes sense. Like, because at first I didn't know that he had to kill the. Or maybe I didn't hear it properly, but I thought that like the group would just die by like demons or something. But then he had to
They
do
did
it.
die via demons.
But then he had it. I guess he had to do it also so that it could be extra.
no, it was upon his yes.
Yeah, but then he was there to kill them also. You said like
He was just there to rape Casca, but
okay.
the demons killed the mercenary
okay.
group.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he it does. It's really a more of an asshole move rather than justifying that he can make a good country by that.
You know, I'd like to bring up. It's not a mainstream meme. It's X did nothing wrong. It includes Griffith and Hitler and that guy from Full Metal Alchemist, the one that turned that girl into a girl dog.
I know him. I haven't even watched the show, but I know from the memes.
You have not watched?
No.
Oh my god. Well, yeah.
It's like Gigak who never watched Full Metal Alchemist.
Interesting stuff.
So yeah, like
You know, now that the topic's done, I actually like to not make this the sole philosophy episode
oh yeah,
because there's so much more to explore and discuss.
I didn't know you were
Maybe
gonna
I'll
talk
get
about.
to watching Legend of the Galactic Heroes.
Yeah, it'll be good. So that you can talk about the anime also. Now, because I was thinking like, I didn't know that you were gonna talk about philosophy. I was watching you watching about it, but I didn't know that was gonna be the focus. Like, when you already started talking about it, I already there's only one show that I want to talk about when it comes to philosophy, and that's BoJack Horseman. And you already watched that, but have you seen any of the philosophy with that?
No.
Okay, so well, I guess the general one I can do more research or at least go back with the things I watched before.
Wait. I'd just like to bring this up. Funny thing, I watch YouTube videos for research, right?
Yeah.
But Wisecrack was not one of them. Because Wisecrack is what
they do
you
a lot
normally
of,
expect,
yeah.
right? For these topics.
Yeah, I think with the BoJack one, I watched a lot of
I
that.
actually watched a small YouTuber for this topic, and I'll put a link down in the description.
Remind me to do that. And yeah, so I guess what I'm gonna do now is just basic.
BoJack Horseman?
Yeah, just basic. So that we can see if we want to talk about this in the future. But from what I remember, one obvious one with BoJack Horseman is the existential crisis type of philosophy or existentialism, I guess. And it was also in comparison with another one. Oh, so I guess I did also watch another philosophy stuff.
Wait,
with
I
show.
didn't research this, but isn't existentialism Sartre? Sartre.
Sorry, yeah, I think so. But like, yeah, no, because again, just for a brief rundown, they compared it with Rick and Morty. So with Rick and Morty, if you also watch it, I guess a lot of people here watch it. It's the universal type of existentialism where like with Rick, like there's a lot of other Ricks in the world or in the multiverse, whatever. So it doesn't really matter who you are, whatever. It's like you're nothing because there's a lot of different timelines and stuff like that. And then with BoJack, it's more of a personal existentialism where like he. If you watch it, it's just about a depressed horse. So he's just nothing matters because he just sucks as a person like that. And then the other one, I guess the reason why I know about this because I like this one more. It's more it's the philosophy the philosophical term for this I guess it's called absurdism. You know
Okay.
that?
I've heard of it.
Yeah. So it's I don't know if there's a lot to talk about that, but it's from how I understand it, it's just like it's kind of like it kind of goes in the same route as existentialism, But existentialism, usually people are like sad because of it, like, oh, nothing in the world matters, so fuck me, like that, because again, nothing in the world matters. But then with absurdism, it's like
Nothing in the world matters.
So
So
fuck
what
it.
what do I do?
not just
What can I?
not just what do I do. It's like fuck it, like it's more of like a devil may care type of attitude, I guess, because
I can see the appeal.
yeah. So for me, I like that more. When it came to to those two topics, but again, I'll research on it more before.
Maybe that's a philosophy that's more acceptable for more hedonistic people like me.
What's a hedonist again? I forgot.
Pleasure-seeking people.
Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense because like I think they showed it with one of the characters there. I don't know if you reached this with. I think it was a hamster, like one of the big director hamsters. Is like, he they portrayed him as like one of the end goals that BoJack could become, which was he was just at peace with the world because nothing matters like that. He was just like a typical like a monk already by the time they showed him, or at least by that part in the show where they showed it to in comparison to BoJack. So yeah, I guess we're already at almost.
The funny thing is, I actually stopped watching BoJack Horseman after he had sex with that. Was the girl a minor?
He didn't have sex with her. He was about to,
Oh, so
or at
okay.
least that it was implied that he was about to, because that's the like, when
So,
you
but it was they never
Oh, they
actually
didn't.
did the deed.
yeah, because when there's a big spoiler, but whatever. When the mom came in, they were still like taking off the clothes, and then
Okay,
you don't know what's really gonna happen, but it's very heavily implied, and then there's also a lot of issue with people online talking about that because like they were going more into laws, and then some of them were more going into mental states. Like one side is obvious, like she was a minor, so they don't know what they're doing and stuff like that, and then they know a lot of people who've done it in real life, and they all regret it, stuff like that. But then other people are also saying like how do you say this from in the show, in the area where it happened, or this where it was gonna happen, she was already at a legal age, so I was there like, oh, BoJack did nothing wrong with this. So, yeah, like with the meme that you said, and also like another part that people hate about BoJack with that is that and BoJack kind of addressed this also, not addressed it, but he recognized it at the end, or at the end of the show, was like maybe, I don't know, I also don't know if this is true, but a lot of they say like a lot of the things that BoJack did, he was doing it was because of his power, like as a former celebrity or something like that. Like people tend to go to him for pleasure or whatever because he was a famous guy, and then
And rich.
yeah, and then they also showed like how he was abusing that power, and then I don't know, there wasn't really an answer to that, more of just accusing him
An
of that.
open-ended question.
More of accusation, like, oh, yeah, that's how he is, and then just be depressed because you're like that. So stuff like that. I can definitely do more research on this for the next episode, or next episode, so we can talk about it. But yeah, again, we're almost an hour in for this first part, so I guess we should take a break first, and then I'll go on to my part, which is very different.
Actually, okay. Do your part and I'll do another one because I forgot I actually had another.
You had 3.
Yeah, I had 3 in the end.
Oh, maybe we can do that next time when I talk about BoJack. So at least it's still about philosophy.
No, this one's about fitness.
Okay. Well, let's see. Let's talk about it over the break, and then let's see.
Okay.
So see you guys then. Are you ready, Van?
I'm ready.
Oh yeah, we're back also, and yeah. So I don't know. Well, let's just get on with this. The next part that we're gonna do, well, at least my part that I wanted to do for the podcast, is actually something that I stole technically from a YouTuber, or also a podcaster that I love.
All content is stolen in
Yeah.
one way or another.
Yeah, but this is more directly stolen rather than like I might have seen this in the past and then just thought about it and thought it was maybe an original idea. This was literally, I saw this in my recommendations. Like, this would be cool to do for the podcast,
Okay.
and in our own way, and for specifically something that Van can do also.
Okay.
So to give people a background, not background, like give it, I guess, a background for this. I stole this from, again, one of my favorite YouTubers and mainly a podcaster, Mr. Sunday Movies, with his podcast, The Weekly Planet. That is, I guess, my number one recommendation for a podcast, especially if you're a comic book fan, stuff like that. Even though I'm not a really big comic book fan, I still love it. And anyway,
I am.
yeah. And anyway, the original video that he had was guessing. Was it guessing right? Yeah, guessing terrible movies based on their good reviews.
So how is this gonna go? So am I the
Yeah.
contestant here?
You're the
and
contestant.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I don't know.
Game.
I'm not a movie buff. No. So let's give more background with this. So what we chose for this copy, I guess, are horror movies, and that's because, as far as I know, Van is a very educated person when it comes to horror movies. Like, can you give us your background with the horror movies?
As a kid, I have watched movies I was not supposed to watch at that age, and kept watching them up to today.
Okay, that's not just for horror movies, but like.
No, not porn. But as a kid,
I didn't say
just to give a background, as an 8-year-old, I've watched The Exorcist. I've watched Wrong Turn. I've watched those Texas Chainsaw Massacre remakes, and yeah, I remember even as a kid, I brought a book. I don't know if it's from the States or here, but it's a book of horror movie trivia. So I'm really into horror, not even just watching them, but just knowing about
just
horror.
really learning about them.
Yeah.
Wait, is it? Are you saying? Wait. Let's just go. I was thinking about this when you said like you did it from a young age. Why did you do it? And I want to give us a preface from the last episode. Did you do this because you were edgy? Or was it just like you really found
this
love?
was before this is before I got bullied. This was before I noticed that the girls like the Chads and not me.
Well, I don't think anyone thinks like, oh, girls like guys that watch horror movies. So yeah, anyway, so you really just like the horror horror movies.
This was pre-bully era. This was pre everything. So it's not an edgy kid thing. I just love horror.
Okay, you just love horror, and then I guess my follow-up question to that is like, do you like is your love for horror more of like a movie critic type of thing, or are you more of a campy type of person? Like you just love the things that happen in horror movies?
Both.
Okay.
So here's the thing. Admittedly, I do not like some of the critically well received horror films. I got bored of Midsommar. I think horror should be both fun. If horror is aiming to be mentally engaging, I think fun should not be thrown out of the window. By fun, I don't mean like a really good time. By fun, I mean you have fun getting scared.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have fun with rising tensions.
Yeah, because like the one thing I think about when at least I think I see people talk about when it comes to horror movies. Like, I think it's the same with video games. It's like people are trying to compare them too much to like art films, or like for a horror movie or for a game movie, I guess, or a game story to be considered good. It should go into the how do you call that, to the preferences of like of really popular films that really like like Blade Runner and stuff like that.
Well, here's the thing. That's why I said fun is not the word. I think the word is engaging. It should be engaging.
Yeah,
It should keep you.
It could be engaging without being like an art, because I'm
Because,
against that thinking.
Here it is. This is a hot take, but with any form of media, you could offend. You could even say the wrong things. But I think the highest offense when making any form of media is to bore the audience.
Just like what we talked about last time with the movie you talked about, the one that just followed all the formulas. Yeah. So I guess I hope that's good enough background for people to know that Van is qualified for this test that we're giving, or at least this mini quiz. I hope he doesn't see from the reflection what I'm looking at. But let's just go on. I'm not gonna go because I just looked this up at a website for top 10 worst horror movies ever. Just to give them credit, it's from insider.com. So I'm not gonna go from the 10th to the number one, because maybe it would follow a pattern of what's what's the least worst horror movie to
Wait,
the
wait.
list.
Before we start this, I've just now opened
The yogurt. The yogurt.
the yogurt soju.
Okay, okay.
So
I'll give a review for it
so
first.
just a quick taste and review.
Go ahead. By the way, I was drinking coffee earlier, and then now I'm drinking the monkey shoulder here, and it's just really good. I really love it.
Okay, that's a quick review.
What's the review? You didn't say the review yet.
No. I mean that.
Taste test.
I've essentialized the flavor. You know you know those fizzy milk sodas you can buy at any 7-Eleven?
Calpis.
Exact same taste without the
Taste.
fizz.
And does it not have the alcohol taste, or are you saying it's that with the alcohol taste?
No alcohol taste.
Ooh, well, I'm interested in that next time.
I may be an alcoholic, but really, no alcohol taste.
And then again, let me just, for anyone who's hopeful, like maybe they've never drank alcohol, again, tasting alcohol comes with experience. So if you're a beginner, almost anything that has alcohol, you'll primarily taste it because, from what I've learned, alcohol is technically a poison. So your body will have to recognize it right away, so that it would, you would avoid it. But then, of course, with alcoholic drinks, it's not a lot of alcohol, so it's up to the point where you can just enjoy it without getting the poison.
So is it
technically.
ignoring? Because from
No. It's
from our discussions through the years, sometimes you actually give me some hints that the alcohol taste is part of the experience.
well, it could be, yeah. Like with what I said before, with whiskey, where people would, if given an option to drink whiskey without the alcohol, most people don't want it, or at least some people don't want it, because it is part of the experience. But again, with what you're experiencing right now, the way I could say this is like, you're getting desensitized to the alcohol. It's more your I guess your brain is already knows that there's gonna be alcohol with what you're drinking, so it can focus more on the flavor, the rest of the flavor that you're getting.
Okay, just to add a little bit to my review, my taste buds aren't telling me I'm drinking alcohol, but my throat is still
It has
sensing.
the hot burning, not burning, but like just a really hot
Yeah,
sensation.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, I get that. The one thing I want to test with that, like I don't know if we can do this legally, is like give a blind test for people to try and see if they know that they're drinking alcohol or not.
Consenting people of our age range, probably.
Yeah. Let's we can try that maybe with our
Future episodes.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
with
have a lot of
guests.
friends. We're a whole dysfunctional band of misfits.
I never heard anyone say we have a lot of friends. Just so you know, it's not just the two of us, okay? But anyway, let's just go on with the quiz. So with this first movie, first movie that I'm gonna give you, just to give you a preface also as well. I got all of these reviews from IMDb because the first movie I checked out, I tried Rotten Tomatoes, but then they suck. So IMDb, most people, a lot of people really give reviews, and it ranges from like 10 out of 10 to 1 out of 10, or they try to say 0 out of 10. But here I tried to get as much 10 out of 10s as possible, and just so that it.
Wait, so good movies with bad
No,
reviews?
but opposite, bad horror movies with good reviews.
Okay.
So 10 out of 10 for the top 10 worst horror movies of all time.
Okay.
Except for one. There's this one movie, I'll mention it later, where there was no 10 out of 10. I think the highest was 7. And it was that bad, I guess. But with these ones, a lot of people still justify those movies. And yeah, so that we don't so that it doesn't spoil you or give you too much of an easy time. I'm going to try to.
Can you give me a year range? So
You want me to tell you the year range of the movie?
No, not the particular movie, but can you give me a range of the years of these movies? Because it's impossible to keep up with all the horror movies they're spewing out nowadays. But it's a safe bet for me to guess all the other classics, whether good or bad.
They're all below 2010.
Okay.
And
okay.
then some are.
I'll be competent today.
Some are like 1950s.
Okay.
So you got a 60-year range to work with.
Okay.
Okay.
I've not watched them, but I've read enough trivia.
Yeah, maybe that could help. So I'm not when they say in the review the name of an actor or the director, I'm just gonna say this actor or this director, so that maybe you know the actor or the director, and it'll help you.
Okay.
But I don't want to help you with that. And also, because some of these reviews have names like titles for the review, and sometimes it spells, sometimes it doesn't. So I'm just gonna choose whether or not to say it. So here, for the first one, title is "Psh, You Guys Don't Know What You're Talking About." So let's go ahead. You guys don't know what you're talking about. This movie was fantastic. The editing was pristine. The acting was by far the best. How they didn't get an Academy Award nominations is beyond me.
This is sounding ironic.
Anyone disagreeing should never be allowed to watch a single movie again. At the zombie scenes, I nearly wet myself. I laughed. I cried. It had romance. I mean, come on. This is a great movie. There's nothing better than this movie. Not even sex. The best sex ever could not top this movie. Just thinking about it makes me so excited. I have to go burn myself with a lighter to relieve it. You are all insane for giving it a bad rating. For shame. And if you want, this is one review. I usually get 2 reviews. If you want help,
Okay.
do you want?
I mean, I'm a bit biased because I like zombies.
Yeah. So there's a lot of
Gi-
zombies movies.
give me another review.
Okay. So wait, let me see if the title spoils it. Okay, this one is gonna give you a year range if you
Okay,
know
okay.
the movie they're talking about.
Okay,
So
okay.
it says comedy horror SF musical 11 years before Rocky Horror. I watched many movies in my teens, most of which I have no memory beyond a name or vague story point. This movie, in addition to its title, created movie history in a lot of ways. I have to go to Rocky Horror to find an equivalent for several of these parentheses, combining horror, SF, comedy in a musical. I still remember the stark, anguished photography, the meaningless actions, the hopelessness so dark it could only be comedy. One review captured this, describing it as lunar purity. I wasn't surprised to learn that one of the camera operators went on to win an Academy Award for Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Note that this review is written at least 40 years after I saw the film. So those are the only things I got. We don't have internet here, so I can't get more reviews anymore.
My God, that's a hard one. You started off with a hard one.
I think they're all hard.
I'm getting musical and zombies.
Yeah. So
I don't know a zombie musical.
you don't know.
No. So yeah, I guess I have to guess anyway.
Well, if you want to just you give up, I can just tell you the title.
Giving up doesn't make for good content. So I'm just gonna say, Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
No, you wanna get the answer already?
Go ahead.
The incredibly strange creatures who stopped living and became mixed up zombies. What do you call it? What do you call that? Exclamation point, question mark. From 1964. So we got I got also here the information that insider.com provided for the movie, so we can get a bit of knowledge from this, because I haven't watched any of these movies, by the way.
You know what vibe I'm getting here?
What?
It's that I love horror movies so much, but I don't go out of my way to watch bad ones.
Or maybe I don't know. Yeah, that could be true. And I might have thought that you would have probably done that, maybe, or maybe there's a movie that could be considered horrible.
When you say bad movies, I think the easy guesses would be something like Sharknado or Sharktopus or Piranha.
But like, because with this, I'm also thinking with how I know you, like maybe you would think, oh, they say this is a bad movie. Let me see if it's really a bad movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know
But
that
we
you
can
have.
only say that in hindsight.
Yeah. So here's the information they said for the title. I don't want to say it because it's a long title, because they also say it here. It's an incredibly long title for a strange horror musical that you are probably better off not watching. Another quote unquote mystery science theater favorite. This 1963 film was written and directed by Ray Dennis Steckler, a filmmaker whom the New York Times referred to in his 2009 obituary as a low-budget amateur. I don't know, not amateur. What is this? Auteur? Auteur.
Auteur.
Auteur. Steckler also starred in the film under one of his many pseudonyms as Jerry, one of three friends who encountered a zombie-making fortune teller at a carnival. The rest of the plot doesn't really matter because it won't make the experience any better.
This is not a hot take. This is an observation, if you will. Usually, when the director also stars in a movie, kind of like The Room.
Yeah.
I think that's right now the most famous bad movie of all time, The Room. The director starring in the movie is an indicator of the movie's quality. And I think only Tarantino gets away with starring in his good movies.
Okay. Let's see for the next one. I think this is gonna take a while. It's already been 15 minutes, man. Let's go with the next one. Let's see. I think this is gonna be easier, maybe. Let's see. I won't
I
say.
hope I get one.
Yeah, I think you
I'd
get.
be happy with one.
I think you get one because one of these. Let me just give you a clue. Like one of these, I haven't watched, but I've heard about it. Like I know about this movie. Anyway, I won't say the title for this. All right, let's just skip this. By the way, so Dude scared me when I was 5. So I decided to give this B low budget movie a 10 excellent rating because when I was 5 years old, and my dad took me to see the only showing of this movie on the big screen at the Mark II on Green Bay. WI East Side. I don't know what that means. It scared the heck out of me.
Wisconsin.
Oh, Wisconsin! Wow, you know your American states. I thought it was the best movie ever, and it had the skipper from Gillian's Island in it. So how cool is that? It's too bad he did not get top billing in the credits. After all, he was the big star in the film. This was filmed in Marathon County, township of Gleason, Wisconsin. The town is still there and not much bigger than it was in 1975. Clue again. If you go to that town, bring your copy along and get it autographed by whoever lives there. I did 3 years ago. Some people living there did not even know what I was talking about. A movie made here? When? You want to guess from that already or no?
I probably don't know the movie, but
Or you want? Yeah, I still have another review if you want.
based from the previous entry, I
It's not
think
gonna hurt?
it's
not gonna help?
It's time saving and efficient to just take a jab.
Okay. Oh wait, okay. Let me help you out here because it's really hard. I'm just gonna say the full title. Maybe this might help you. I don't know. Maybe recall a movie title for you. Giant Spider Scared Me When I Was 5. That's the title.
Oh my god! When you say spiders, I just okay them.
No. The movie is The Giant Spider Invasion from 1975. Giant bug movies were cheesy in the 50s, but drive-in crowds still found them entertaining. Director Bill Rebane and his crew on The Giant Spider Invasion tried to recapture the magic of that bygone era.
I'm being humiliated right now. So after this, I'm going to go through a training arc watching all of the bad movies.
Let's see if you
So
can.
next time, I'll show you.
But somehow missed the mark when it came to telling a coherent story. The people who were paid to fabricate giant webs were totally unscary spiders out of Volkswagens deserve a round of applause. But that's about it. The film apparently made millions on its $300,000 budget and contributed greatly to the economy of Merrill, Wisconsin, where it was filmed. The not so silver lining, according to Rebane, is that it is among the most pirated films of all time. Oh yeah. Why didn't you watch this if it's one of the most pirated films of all time? And none of the money reached his pockets. So that's what we have for that movie. I guess.
Wait. Since I did the time saving move, I'll just like to add this that you know why directors or producers churn out horror movies by there are a lot of horror movies
Yeah.
produced every year. It's because horror is the safest genre to make money. People will eat horror up whether it's good or bad because
I can imagine.
they just want to feel scared.
I can imagine just like those corny or not corny but like not
And this is also why horror is one of the most difficult genres to get an Oscar.
because not nobody takes it seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say like I think it's the same. Isn't it the same with like action movies? Although it does
Makes
give
sense.
it does though like action movies in general just give more of a serious vibe, I guess. Like like Mission Impossible. Although it's not, I don't see it as like, oh wow, this is such a great movie in comparison to horror movies.
And comedy horror makes more sense, I think, than action comedy.
Okay, it makes sense. So let's go on to the next movie. I'm gonna help you out with this a bit because you've been having a hard time. This one is a more recent movie. I think it's the newest movie from the ones I have in this list. So, do you want the exact year?
Sure.
It was made in 2008.
Okay, go ahead.
So, 10 out of 10. Stop bashing this movie. I don't get it. I watched this movie yesterday in a packed house with people who seemed to be enjoying themselves. They were scared, they jumped in their seats, and they laughed at the many humorous moments. Everything seemed to work, and I wasn't alone in the theater having fun with this film. The actor and the cast are totally believable in a sense. So much so that you really care about their almost naive characters. It's definitely the most Hitchcock like of the director's efforts to date. I must have in parentheses the birds come to mind, which I guess is a Hitchcock movie. I must have missed his cameo though. Now that I see these bad reviews all over the place, I just don't get it. I think people just need to let go of the expectation of a Sixth Sense style bombshell, chill and enjoy themselves like I did. Good flick.
Shit. Well, since you mentioned birds, this guess makes sense. Is it Snakes on a Plane?
I don't know. Do
Gum,
you want the
fuck.
other review or just go ahead with the title?
How many guesses do I get to have?
I don't make the rules here, so nobody's making the rules. If you just want another chance, because I think this might be not the easiest, but the most possible one you can guess. Or no, it's actually not.
Is
but-
it Anaconda?
No. Okay, to help you out, the title doesn't have an animal in it. It doesn't have an animal in the title. So the birds, I guess the birds, a Hitchcock movie, it might be more of the themes. If you want then another, if you want
Deep
another
Blue
review-
Sea.
no,
Oh, fuck!
you want another review? Because I still have another one here.
Go ahead.
A magnificent. It's also 10 out of 10. A magnificent spectacle. Movie title has achieved the position of one of the most beautifully coordinated and thought-provoking stories ever told. When I walked into the theater, I was expecting nothing short of perfection by the director, whose movies, with the exception of his sporting try at the fairy tale movie title, are frankly beyond stunning. When I walked out of the theater, my perception of movies had polarized. No longer were movies something to do on a Friday night. No longer were they something that attempted to capture my attention for an hour and a half. No more were they just mindless pictures with sounds. They had now reached a level of unparalleled conception. No other form.
All of these are ironic and fuck.
No other
Fuck.
form of media could challenge films in getting a message across or telling an entertaining story. This was meaning beyond what music, video games, or even books could achieve. Meaning normal people could not comprehend, especially the ones who go out of their way to belittle someone's artistic expression by giving vacuous reasons to why they believe in their simpleton minds it was not worthy of their approval. How can you trivialize someone's craftsmanship when in reality you had no experience in the field whatsoever? But by paying for a $10 ticket, man, their movies are expensive there, you feel it's your place to criticize and denounce someone's obvious hard work and zeal. It's your fault for even deciding to go to an excellent, captivating movie in the first place. It's not equitable to you to prevent people from experiencing this new truth just to fuel your rampage of ignorance. I highly advocate the next time someone offers you something visionary, keep your opinions to yourself unless you have a valid justification to support your harsh accusations. Okay, this wasn't a review. This was more of judgment on people who gave this movie a bad review.
Fuck. I only watch good ones, or at least I try to watch good.
You give up for this one?
Yeah.
It's The Happening from 2008 starring Mark Wahlberg.
So it's plants.
What plants?
The plants.
I
The
didn't watch
plants
this
kill
movie.
the people.
I didn't watch
I
the
know the
movie.
movie.
Oh, see?
Fuck! I know the movie. Fuck! The plants, the plants brainwash people into killing themselves.
I didn't watch the movie, man. I don't know.
So that's the game here.
What?
I really can't make. I really can't
What?
determine the movie from the good reviews because fuck.
Maybe if they said plants, maybe you would have guessed it, like the other one with zombies. But let's see. So here they say M. Night Shyamalan's, how's that say? Shyamalan. Shyamalan's star began to fade when The Village turned out not to be the terrifying horror film that trailers watchers expected. Then came Lady in the Water, which swam its way to 25% on Rotten Tomatoes. The Happening was Strike 3. The echo horror thriller stars Mark Wahlberg as a high school science teacher.
You know, for the viewers, this is not about me being a horror noob. This is about the reviews. It's more about the reviews. Okay.
I guess it makes sense if they're the type of person who likes this movie, they also want to make a good review. Like the reviews say it's good, but then they don't know how to say it's good aside from not saying anything about the movie at all.
God fucking damn it.
So The Happening was Strike 3. The echo horror thriller stars Mark Wahlberg, was a science teacher who becomes the de facto leader of a group trying to survive a mysterious event that is causing people to suddenly and violently kill themselves. The twist, if you can call it that, is that the trees are responsible. Tim Garrison and Will Leitch of the New Yorker wrote,
It's plants.
it's the strangest big budget thriller to
fuck
come out in the
me.
last 25 years. It also might be the worst. Okay, so let me help you out here again with this next one. Maybe this one
You
can
know,
get.
maybe this is the point of this practice. It's impossible for me to guess.
No. This one maybe. I'm hopeful for this next one because I'm not sure if they'll say it in the reviews, but let me just say it's a sequel. Okay, so this next one, 10 out of 10 also. Yeah, 10 out of 10 first review. Superb horror film with fine cast. The director does an exemplary job of creating a truly terrifying environment in this film, and he keeps the suspense level high from beginning to the very end shot. This is an intense film and thrills are unrelenting. Haunting imagery and some truly horrifying sequences are likely to stay with audience for many years. The cast is exceptionally good and give some very powerful individual performances. This is general shit they can say for any movie. It is, however, something director who stands out and gives the film something very special. She is absolutely mesmerizing in this movie, and she is on screen and when
she
yeah.
the director. The
I think
director's a
this. I
woman.
think this is a name of an actor.
Okay.
So I guess that's a clue for you. Someone whose last name is director is a star in the film.
What?
Someone whose last name is director.
Oh.
So she's mesmerizing in the movie, and when she is on the screen, no one can avert their eyes. She is a magnetic screen presence, and the camera loves her. When she isn't on screen, her absence is sorely missed, and upon her return, the movie catches fire again. Her role here is essential, and casting her was a stroke of genius. You want to guess already?
Hatchet 3.
No. Another clue for you is this is let's give you the year of the movie. You want?
Go ahead.
It was 2000. And do you want the other review?
I know what you did last summer too.
No.
Get.
Let's give you the other review. Not scary, but very entertaining. I've seen both, the first movie and this movie. All I can say is that the previous movie was more scary, but not as entertaining as the second part. I really enjoy watching the second one. Every time I play it, I can't go anywhere until it ends. It's really entertaining and fun. Maybe not scary, but it really has some meaning and connection between the first and something phenomenons. It explains widely what happens to the persons involved in Toot. And I'm glad I have this on my DVD collection, and I really appreciate this film. And I think it's really good. It deserves a 10 stars ranking in my opinion. That's all I can say.
Scream 2.
No. I don't think it... maybe... Because when I saw this, I didn't know that that there was a sequel to the original film. That's my clue. My personal clue. A horror movie that the first one is very good. Very, very... how do you say this? Like, cult following. But then it has a sequel that maybe not nobody, but not that famous.
Is this the second entry or not necessarily the second?
It's a second. It's a
Oh,
second
fuck.
entry.
I was going to have an answer if it's not the second.
What, you want to try that? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Here's the first part of the what Insider says about it. How do you successfully make a follow up to one of the most profitable and influential films of all time? And it was released just 15 months after the first film.
Does this have Mila Kunis in it?
I don't know. I think if I give you this next clue that I'm thinking of, it'll give you a like it's just gonna give away the answer. Do you want that next clue?
Go ahead. I want to get something right.
The clue I have for I don't know about this film, but the first film was handheld camera. How do you say that? First person or whatever. Like that.
Blair Witch Project 2.
Yeah, there we go. There's so many clues.
Woo!
But did you know about this movie?
Yeah.
So the Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2. It exists in an universe where the original fictional movie has became a cult phenomenon. The main characters visit the woods where it was filmed and spooky things begin to happen. Smart idea, but the execution is muddled. Real footage of Roger Ebert's review of the Blair Witch Project is shown in the sequel, but that cameo couldn't save it from a 2-star rating. One viewing is not enough to make the material clear, and the material is not intriguing enough, alas, to inspire a second viewing, he wrote. He added that a sequel to the original film was inevitable, but this was not the sequel I suspect anyone much wanted. Okay, so how much was that 1 out of 4?
Yeah.
So okay, 1 out of 4, and we have 10 here.
In my defense, yeah, early 2000s film, and it's not Cloverfield, so it had to be Blair Witch Project.
And handheld.
Yeah.
Okay, let's give you another easy one for this, or you want a harder one?
Well, just fuck my shit up, fam.
Okay, let's go with the harder one then. Let's see here. I don't know. Maybe I can give the name of the director. If I don't think this is okay. Let me. The clue I have right now is that this is a movie from 1959.
Okay.
Do you know the directors from there?
No, but I know some movies from the
Based
early ages.
based on directors.
Not based on directors.
Okay, let me just say his name. So the title the title of the review, My Dearest Edward D. Wood Jr. Don't let my rating fool you into thinking this is the sci-fi equivalent to Citizen Kane or anything. But if you watch it for the right thing, it is. This movie was awful. Just surf the board and you'll find that out quick. Or, if you have an hour to spare, take a look at the goofs section. I'm a fan of this movie for 2 reasons that most critics should include in any rating they give. 1. This movie's heart is just so big. Eddie really threw his whole self into all of the movies he wrote, produced, and directed. Hiring his friends for roles instead of going around trying to find actors, he has such a love for filmmaking that extends to his passion. As you watch this, imagine you are 13 years old. What the fuck? Wrong grammar. As you watch this, imagine you're a 13-year-old who wanted to make a science fiction movie. It's not going to be great because they don't have the technology, but you will enjoy it. It has that feel to it. The idea is the important thing. This is number 2. Eddie had such a vision in mind that if he could see the things in CGI now, he will be blown away and have a more suitable medium to portray his vision. I know. These are good movies from back then and do not need today's effects, but Ed Wood's visions really needed to be affected. Look at this film as a storyboard for what he really wanted. Ignore mistakes and try to see your head and what Ed saw in his head for this movie. You will laugh at the mistakes, and it almost seems like a Naked Gun movie. Trying to be a little tongue in cheek. There are movies that are good, It's a Wonderful Life, then bad, Doom, then really bad, I Eat Your Skin, or Manos, The Hands of Fate. Even still,
I know Manos.
there is so bad. What the fuck is this grammar? There is so bad that it went past bad and back to good again. Gold. I was about to say the movie title. Gold for any movie buff, or just anyone who wants to play a game of with that punk at the rental shop who knows all things film. You may feel different, but I love this movie. Own it and watch it every now and then.
God, please let me be right. They gone.
No, no. I almost said the title. Okay, if you want the clue again, it starts with pla.
Pla?
That's the first part of the movie title,
Oh.
and it's science fiction.
Well, I've put my soul into the answer. They gone. So yeah, my shit is fucked.
Yeah, it is a bit harder since it's really old. So you want to give up already?
Yeah, I give up. My ambitions ended with They Gone.
So the movie title is Plan 9 from Outer Space from 1950.
I know that. Oh
I already said Pla. So have you watched it?
no, but I know of it from my books back then. No.
So it says here, the reputation of Plan 9 from Outer Space extends beyond the horror genre, as it is often called the worst film ever made, period. Director Ed Wood, the black and white sci-fi picture, has aliens, the resurrected dead, and gothic horror icon Bela Lugosi.
I know Bela Lugosi.
Yeah, that's
The classic
Lugosi.
Dracula.
And that's where we got Legacy from Beastars. But it still manages to go off the rails. Cheap effects, poor writing, and atrocious acting combined to make to making the film a laugh riot, even though it was not intended to be a comedy. Wood reportedly once referred to this movie as his pride and joy, but others did not appreciate his singular vision. There have been several articles and think pieces written over the years by critics looking to reevaluate and defend Plan 9, but it will take more than a few essays to make this film better. You know what I think?
This segment just fucked my shit up. You might as well call me a non-horror fan. I'm just a fucking normie now. Fuck me.
If you one thing I just realized because it's really hard with the good reviews since they don't really talk about how the movie is unless with this one they said it was a sci-fi, so that was your biggest clue. But
No. I should have gotten this with the pla, but I know.
Pla, because it was pawn. Pla. I should have said pla.
Yeah, fuck.
Now, next time for the next one, if we can't guess it from the good review, I'll just give you I'll try to give you what they say
Kind of like a hangman situation.
I'll give you the one they say here in Insider because it's about they're talking about the movie but not in a good light, so it might help you out better. So let's go on to the next movie.
Am I a horror fan if I only watch good horror films? That's something to ponder over.
I don't know, maybe.
I mean, I accidentally watch bad ones, but only accidentally and not on purpose.
Okay. Wait, let me.
Okay, fuck my shit up again.
Let me see. Where can we go from here? Okay, let's go with this one. 10 out of 10. Excellent movie, if taken in context. This movie should be included in film school textbooks under How to Make a Bad Movie. I own 2 copies of this classic, the Something DVD and the normal movie, and enjoy both of them. It's not exactly Gone with the Wind, but the quote-unquote sucks so bad it's good factor of this film will give, Ed Wood's, it says, will give Ed Wood's best a run for its money. Wild cuts, horrible voice-overs, bad acting, and I think this is going to be a good clue for you, and a 6-minute intro that's nothing but someone driving with background music are just a few of the wonderful moments you have to look forward to. You know already?
No.
Bottom line, if you don't want to watch a bad movie, then stay away from this film. If, however, you're morbidly curious enough to seek the answer to the question just how bad a movie can be, then give it a try.
I've been just spouting all the bad movies I know. So let me just take the wild guesses and we'll work from there. Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
No. Do you want me to give you the other review or the what Insider said about the movie?
If we keep doing this shit in the future, you can just maybe tell me the horror genre of the movie.
Horror genre? I don't know the genre.
Zombies.
Well,
is it Critter?
I'll research on that more next time. But if you want me to give you what Insider said about the movie.
Okay, go ahead.
Released in 1966 and written and directed by, I don't want to give the director's name, it might be a clue to you, whose title does not indeed translate to a very redundant dude, is an indie cult film that owes much of its notoriety to its inclusion in a 1993 Mystery Science Theater 3000 installment. The plot, according to IMDb, well, this is gonna be too much of a help. I'm just gonna go to the next part. The film feels like a small town stage play that someone recorded for personal use but accidentally forwarded to the world. The acting is terrible and the script is somehow worse. The only redeeming quality may be, I don't want to say this, deserved much more screen time. Something deserved much more screen time.
Is it them?
No.
Ah, God. Ah, man.
I have one last clue if you really can't, if you really want. I have one last clue that I'm not sure if it's gonna help you out.
My soul has been broken, and yeah,
You want the last clue?
I give up.
No, you want. I can give you the last clue.
Okay, I won't get it, but go ahead.
I said the title earlier. Like from the other reviews.
Manos, Hands of...
Yeah, see? You can get it. 2 out of 6. Yumabang na bigla.
I've watched clips of this movie. Okay, so it's... Okay, maybe this is not about me, but more about the reviews.
Why?
Because I've gotten to...
What? Oh, okay. And also because I was hopeful for this movie because you said earlier that you know about this movie already.
Yeah,
So I thought talking about the intro would give it away.
I know that it's a movie with cults involved.
Okay, let's just go ahead to the next movie. 10 out of 10. What a ride! This is This is absolutely great film. Seen 10 plus times now and gets better every time. Sometimes if I don't know what to watch, I think why not watch because it's always better than last time. So usually I will put it on. Sometimes let me give you the year first. It's 1995.
Okay.
Sometimes I will flip a coin to see if I watch something else, but even if it lands on another film, I'll still draw for the movie title. The characters are great. The guy that takes pictures is my favorite character, but I like the factory owner as well. He is really great as well. The plot is very complex. At first, you think everything is fine, but then all of a sudden it gets very strange. And I don't want to spoil the story, so I'll not tell you anymore. I don't know why it has only got a low rating here, but me and my friends all think it's really good movie. What? Oh, it's really good and would give it 10 stars at least.
1995.
You want while you think I'll say the other review.
Okay, go ahead.
I may never do my laundry again. Lol. After reading about this movie.
Fuck, I know this movie,
What?
but I don't know the title. I've seen clips. This is about a killer washing machine.
Let me see the.
This is about a killer washing machine.
From what insiders said, it's not a washing machine. Something else.
But I'm sort of correct, right?
I guess so.
Fuck! I know! I've seen it! The title just evades me.
Let's help you out with the review. So after reading about this movie, I might have to think twice before using the laundry machines in my dorm hall again. Not really, because I have no plans in seeing this movie. Like many other horror movies, this one is very innovative. There are horror movies with blobs, horror movies with monsters, and even horror movies with televisions, radios, heck, even chainsaws and hockey masked men. This movie is a horror movie that features an evil something machine.
See?
I'm not gonna give you the exact word because it's gonna. Can anyone even imagine that in real life, if anyone here is a diehard, it says here, man, if anyone here is a diehard horror movie fan, then this is totally 10 out of 10 movie. Like it or hate it, watch it or don't watch. Opinions really don't matter.
Fuck me.
It's okay. At least you know the movie, just don't remember the title.
I remembered the clips clearly in my head, but the title.
You want me to give you the first word of the title? It's 2 words.
Sure.
The. So it's the something.
The Washer.
No. You give up?
Yeah.
It's okay. Let's. I wanna
My
go.
soul hath been broken.
I wanna go.
I am a horror noob. I'm a normie. Horror noob. Casual.
I wanna go more with this. The first letter of the second word starts with an M. Maybe you recall gives you some things in your mind. Something that starts with M and ends with The from 1995.
The Machiner.
Yeah. I don't think you're gonna guess this now because your mind is all with the laundry machines. It's the Mangler.
Well.
So that's the one.
So now that we've blurted out the title, is it? There's a washing machine, right?
No, it's a laundry press.
Fuck me. Fuck me. I've seen clip. Fuck.
But it is the one that you're thinking about.
Yeah,
Correct.
it is.
Okay. So yeah, so Robert Englund is a classically trained actor
Freddy Krueger.
and a horror legend. Well, yeah, that will be hopefully be remembered as Freddy Krueger from A Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, not as Bill Gartley from Toby Hooper's The Mangler, based on a short story by Stephen King. The titular star of the film is a laundry press with a taste for blood. That silly contrivance, along with the lackluster story and the sping, should guarantee the would-be Fright Fest a short spin and a quick fade at the box office. If you're asking how or why multiple people get close enough to be murdered by the machine, then you're probably overthinking it. Ted Levine, Buffalo Bill from The Silence of the Lambs, is the cop on the case. But even he can't solve the mystery of why this film is so bad. You know what? I just thought about this.
Wait. Just to redeem myself that I'm not a complete dum-dum. There will be an
Blood.
episode in the future where
Closer to the microphone. I don't think you're in the camera already.
where I'll be talking about homophobia in big companies and Buffalo Bill.
Okay.
So I'll be attacking Disney in the future.
You know what? I think I just thought about doing this because of what it says in an insider review. Do you want to do something like this, but strictly on Stephen King short stories or just Stephen King stuff?
Well, sure, I can.
Is that gonna be easier for you? You think?
It's gonna be easier. I've read Stephen King shit. I've watched Stephen King shit.
But you don't know this one. The title, at least. You just remember the title, not just the story.
Go ahead.
No. I mean, The Mangler.
So, it's a Stephen King.
I just said it said not as Bill Gartley from Toby Hooper's The Mangler, based on a short story by Stephen King.
God damn it.
Even there.
So in this episode, we've established that I'm a casual.
Okay, let's go with another one that's easier. I think this is the most famous one, or maybe the second most famous one. Okay.
Okay, go ahead. My soul is broken, but yeah.
This one is both reviews are long.
I'm gonna carry this weight.
Yeah. Wow. What's that? Cowboy Bebop?
Yes.
What the fuck? You went from horror movie fan to Cowboy Bebop, man. Anyway, I think this is gonna help a lot because this is one of the more I'd say famous movies from this list. Okay, let me just put some whiskey in. So 10 out of 10. I watch this movie every day. Every time I walk out of a movie theater, no matter what movie I had just seen, I always think to myself, this was no movie title. No movie since has been made that left No movie since then has been made that left such an impact on me as a serious film critic. Why is this movie so great? Unlike 99% of movies out today, movie title accomplishes something most movies don't even come close to and usually fail at. It's entertaining. Oh, and let's help you out also with the year. The year of this movie is 1990. Okay. So this movie has no relation to the original. So this is a sequel, okay? This movie has no relation to the original movie title, and that is a good thing. The reason it was named movie title is a mystery, much like how Tarantino's movie Reservoir Dogs has everyone guessing why it was named that as that. Unfortunately, the director name, has taken that secret to the grave with him. Also, he's a dead director. The plot, every scene, every bit of dialogue, the acting, the costume and makeup, the music, especially the opening credits, classic. And every little detail of this movie captures your attention, leaving you in awe from beginning to end. This movie, well, this is gonna spoil you. Let me skip over this part because he's talking about the plot of the movie. One might criticize the casting of this movie. I'd rather have regular people, quote unquote, in this movie. Quote unquote, regular people meaning the demeaning term used by arrogant movie star celebrities, which refers to us. The people who aren't movie star celebrities. As this cast in movie title has more personality than any overpaid silicone enhanced plastic surgery addicted tabloid covering tanning salon using Church of Scientologist following teen movie drama appearing quote unquote actor out there. Watching the cast is mesmerizing, especially how they react to threats. So there's a threat.
Wait. So what's the point the reviewer is making? Is the movie filled with A-listers or is
No, regular people.
regular people?
I could go on forever about this movie. I apologize for the rambling. Go and see this movie, find it, rent it, and you will be introduced to a whole new experience you probably have never had until 1.5 or 3. I'm gonna defend movie title as a true, unique movie experience unlike anything else. Groundbreaking filmmaking, toot, cue the toot music. Because if I say the word, it's gonna be it's gonna give a really good clue to what the movie is because it's not like zombies or clowns. I guess that's a clue already for you. It's not. There's a monster here, and it's not just something that's like a zombie or clown or plants or whatever. It's a more how do you say this? Unique, I guess, type
So,
of.
is it? Oh God, this is not from the 1990s, but is it The Blob?
No.
Is it
It's not. It's not an abstract thing. I want to help you out with that. It's not an abstract thing. It's something that we know
It's
of.
humanoid.
Yeah.
Pumpkinhead.
No.
Fuck me.
Another. Maybe you've seen this in your stuff, but if you want a clue, a really good. I'm hoping this is a really good clue for this. It's considered. It says here in Insider. Of course, the film that inspired the critically acclaimed documentary Best Worst Movie needs to be on the list of worst horror movies of all time. So it is considered, at least in this documentary, it's considered as the best worst movie of all time. Or at least it inspired that.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
No, is that a sequel?
No, but it's the most famous one from. When speaking bad horror movies, it's
And another thing I want to help you out with this, just like the one earlier with Blair Witch. So the first movie was also very famous, and the first film here, the before the sequel, was 1986. So from 1986 to 1990.
is it Reanimator?
No.
Is it a Texas Chainsaw Massacre sequel?
No.
1980s.
I feeling ko mainis ka talaga pag hindi mo makuha to.
May sasabihin ka ba after?
Hindi. Well, if you want, I can give you the other review.
Go ahead.
So it says here, instant therapy. Feeling down lately? Need a little pick-me-up to help you see the good in the world again. Why? Just pop movie title into the DVD player and you're as good as new. Hey, it's funny for me because these reviews are all like year 2000 something, so they all talk about DVDs. Anyway, and you're good as new. So this movie is pretty much the best movie in the world. I accidentally first saw it with a bunch of my friends at a party. It was hilarious. The sad thing is, the actors are completely serious during the movie, which makes it even funnier. 5 minutes into the movie, I was laughing hysterically. Basically, we were all like, "What? What the toot is going on?" I'm not censoring myself. They just like at symbol, percentage symbol, whatever. It's probably the funniest thing you'll ever watch. Trust me. I don't even remember what happened in the movie except for the part where Do you want me to say this?
Go ahead.
So except for the part where the guy goes, they're eating her, and then they're going to eat me. Oh my god! That's already a spoiler. That's a part of the movie. Honestly, how can he retain that much air in his lungs? It goes on for so long, and you can't even breathe from laughing so hard. And then that kid pees his blood. Oh wait, where am I? And then yeah, so and then that kid pees on the food. Sorry, pees on the food. What? Lol, it had me laughing forever. You can't piss on hospitality. Now I have a bunch of quotes that I can fire back and forth between my friends and I. Oh, and the other part I remember is the sexay scene with the witch, one of the guys, and a corn cob.
Jaws 2.
No. Ha 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 ha. There are no words to describe it. Honestly, who tries to seduce someone with an ear of corn? Then it pops. Hysterical. Anyway, I would watch this movie over and over again just because it cheers me up so much. Better to watch this with a few friends than by yourself, because for some reason it's just funnier that way. Oh my god. Damn, we're already 56 minutes into this. You give up?
Yeah. My soul is broken.
So the title has two because it's a sequel, and the first letter here is T. That's gonna give you a good clue.
Terminator 2?
No, it's not a horror movie.
Well, the first Terminator is considered horror.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So it's just two words, two, and then a first word that starts with T. So
T.
like Terminator 2. I'm not sure if I remember this correctly or if this is another movie franchise. I just want to help you out with this. But I think this is the same movie franchise that has gangsters or like hip hop people or whatever you call it in another spin-off.
In another spin-off. Fuck. When you
Like
said...
In the Hood.
Leprechaun!
Okay, so it's not that, but it's something like that.
In the Hood.
Okay, let me give you another clue. I really want to help you out again. I think I'm not sure if this is the same movie franchise, but they have toys.
Child's Play.
No,
Puppet Master.
you give up.
Toys. Child's Play. Fuck. Oh, fuck. Child's...
They look like Vegeta.
I give up.
Trolls 2.
No.
You don't know? You didn't know about that?
I know about... But, my love for the good ones. really.
Maybe next time we can do what I originally planned again.
I had the tinkle in my eye, a gleam of a ray of light. When you said In the Hood, that's Leprechaun.
Yeah,
that's
I know.
Leprechaun.
Sorry for that. I thought it was that, but I didn't remember. But yeah, that's why I wanted to help you out with.
And that's
the
also a
toys.
bad movie.
You want next time we can just do good horror movies with bad reviews?
Yeah, I'll probably do better.
Okay, let's see. Let's do that with our next guest. Maybe you can also guest with us.
Sure.
I think we're going a bit over time here already. Let's just do two more.
The recommendations part.
Yeah, no, I mean two more movies before because I want to do this other one which I feel is easy, and then I want to do the number one that they gave here, which is the only one that doesn't have a 10 out of 10. So let's do the first one. This next one is how do you say this? It's more common. And also I want to give you a clue. Well, not a clue, but I just want to say because you've been saying the killer clowns, it's not in any of these.
Oh,
Okay, so that you can stop guessing that.
okay.
Here, okay. 10 out of 10. Wow, my voice is so loud. It's a masterpiece. One of the most underrated films of all time. I just want to give you the name because it was so hard for you earlier. Thank you, Mr. Bojangles, for casting Michael Caine, who pulled Mrs. Brody out of her depression to start her life over. Special effects were fantastic. Most importantly, this film goes great with a cheese sandwich and a bag of Doritos.
Fuck. Michael
when
Caine has a bad movie.
when the something goes after the sexy blonde wife, pull out a pint of Ben and Jerry's Cherry Garcia to bring you to a total movie eroticism. I've seen this classic 142 times. And I feel like I'm a better woman for doing so. Sometimes when I'm doing the laundry and I watch it while I'm snacking on low sodium Ritz crackers, but other times I eat a small box of Otter Pops, which are like a popsicle in a tube. I don't even know what the hell a Otter Pop is. You want the other? You want the other clue? I mean the other review.
I'd probably get it wrong. I mean, I've never seen a bad Michael Caine movie.
Maybe you have. You just didn't know it was.
Michael Caine.
I'll just give you this next review because it's just a bit short. So I hope this helps you out. So the title of the review says Roar. Yeah, you gotta love Bruce the Toot. He has made 4 appearances on the big screen. And then he lists out the titles. Oh, this is actually a sequel. So I think this is number 4. So he lists out the first one, second one, and third one. So first one is Best of the Series. Second one is Death of a Dream. Third one, he looked like a giant loaf of bread at the end. This movie. Let me see if it. Okay.
So Bruce Campbell is in this.
No, not Bruce. I mean, the character name is Bruce, or at least the villain of the film, the Jason of the film.
I'm just saying this. I won't get this.
No, you can probably get it. So this movie, and then in parentheses it says, Bruce finally roars because he's had enough of that pressure the humans put upon him. This movie, along with the 3 others, are so good. It made Spielberg a genius with this and all of his other films. What a great man. Do watch all of the movies from beginning to end, and you too will be smiling. I think this next part is gonna really give it to you. Do you already have a guess? Do you want to guess before I give the last?
I don't have a guess.
Okay, this is gonna really give out the movie. I think. And then he puts in the last part in the parentheses. Just hope you don't have a scuba tank in your mouth and some madman doesn't shoot the tank or you'll explode.
Scuba tank? Well, god damn it! When you say scuba gear,
So here, this is the 4th movie in this franchise and the 3rd one. I guess this is gonna give you a good clue also. Oh wait, this is set in 1987 and the 3rd film.
No. I won't get this.
No, the 3rd film in this is 3D. So 1 and then 2 and then 3D and then this 4th one.
Halloween.
No. Come on, you can do it.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Is there a lot of? I didn't even. Is there a 4th Texas Chainsaw Massacres in that sequel?
There are a lot of Texas Chainsaw
never knew that.
Massacres.
No. There's no scuba tank in Texas Chainsaw Massacres, man.
3D. My Bloody Valentine.
Let me give you a last clue. It's not the title, but you mentioned a part of the title earlier. In one of your guesses. Not clowns, because I didn't say it's already not part of that. That's why I wanted to give that preface. So this has something to do with water. It's a horror
Jaws!
film. Yeah, and what's the title? I mean, it has Jaws, but then what's the number 4?
Jaws 4?
No. Well, I guess you get this point. So, I mean, you get this point already. So, it's Jaws, The Revenge, 1987. So...
Well, we established that I'm a noob.
It's okay. So, it says here, I guess next time we can just also do a bit of research or at least a refresher for the titles of movies because it could probably really help you out. So, in Insider, it says here, talk about diminishing returns. Jaws 2 was a solid meh, and Jaws 3D was one big gimmick that nobody asked for. But Jaws the Revenge was a different beast entirely. For one thing, the shark roared like a lion, which was questionable choice and not all scientifically accurate. It also had a telepathic link with Chief Brody's wife, Ellen. Michael Caine was in this film. And it cost $20 million to produce, not including advertising fees, man. Despite being predicted to be a box office hit, it only brought in a fraction of the expected revenue. Sheila Benson of the Los Angeles Times called it dumb beyond belief, hollow, bloody, and nonsensical. In Universal Studios' Vanity movie, a way of providing employment yet again for its great white icon. Fuck. So at least now we know that there is a bad Michael Caine film.
I think there's a lesson here.
What?
Maybe horror fans can call themselves horror fans even if they only watch good horror movies. But the lesson here is they can always watch more.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to watch. So if you ever run out of good horror movies to watch, there's the bad ones. So especially if you're just looking for the funny ones. I think these ones are being judged because of like in general movie standards, not because of like again maybe people don't automatically think when they review a horror movie that it should be funny or it could have funny aspects to it.
Even fun aside, I mean, shouldn't
Have you seen this?
From what we've been discussing, I've seen none of them, admittedly.
It's okay. Let's try this last one. Again, this last one is the number one, and it's the only one that didn't have a 10 out of 10 rating.
Go ahead.
The highest one is 9 out of 10, and the next one I have is 7 out of 10. Okay. So let's give you a clue here. I'm gonna say first for my first the clues I have that I want to give initially. So it's set in 2000, not set. It was made in 2006 or released in 2006, but it's not like The Happening with like Mark Wahlberg and like a famous
No
people.
A-listers.
Yeah, at least from how I know it. Okay. I don't know why they say it. Okay, let me just say this from the insider part. Okay, because I don't know if this means that this should have had them, but it says here in the insider review, neither George Romero nor Stephen King were involved with the third installment of the franchise, which was a red flag from the beginning. So this is a third installment in a franchise of horror movies. So let's go first with the highest rating.
Day of the Dead 3.
No.
Night of the Living Dead 3.
No. It's not zombies. Okay, so this first
George Romero and not
I'll give you the first with the title. Okay, so this is gonna be a good clue. I hope. So 9 out of 10. Title says a unique style Dracula movie. The Creep. Did you get that?
The Creep.
So that's that's already part of the title. So the first two were made in 1980s when I was a little boy and had no chance to see the series of movies. After watching
Creature from the Black Lagoon.
No, I knew I almost missed a good excited Dracula movie. I of course like any type of Dracula movie. This series of movies have their stronger personal style of Dracula. The sick body, horrible bloody face, disconcerting plot, and which is very important, I think, black humor. Into movie time. Okay, here's gonna talk about the scenes here in the movie. And you want that the scenes?
If it's George Romero and it's not zombies, I probably haven't seen it.
Okay, so in this movie, scene 1, the professor will marry a young girl who even would be his granddaughter, but his two students thought it is impossible, and the quote unquote girl, which is made by the professor. Ooh, so they killed her, cut her body dead. They exclaimed, the great of the professor till they found her photo. Scene 2, a doctor gave hot dog to a beggar who died after having hot dog. What? Then the ghost of the beggar appeared in front of the doctor many times. The last time doctor who conceived the beggar want to kill him was scared to death by the ghost, but that ghost said to him, the hot dog tasted very well. His ghost only wanted to say thank you to the doctor. What the fuck is this? So it is weird because the first two were made in the 1980s, but then they suddenly made a third installment of this franchise in 2000. Was it 2006?
The Creep.
I think you're getting close. Let's give you the next review. Not that. So this one is
The Creep.
The next one is 7 out of 10. Not that bad. I was expecting worse. In the long-awaited sequel, to the Something 2, Several stories are included in this latest offering that all revolve around each other.
Creep Show 3.
Yeah, I got it! Finally!
You said, I got it at several.
Why? I don't know.
Creep Show is an anthology.
Okay, so it's gonna be hard.
Series of movies.
Okay.
Okay, so I am sort of a horror fan.
Yes, let's go. Clap that. Clap, clap. Woo! At least you got the number one, man.
Yeah, and you didn't give that much clues.
I don't know. I gave you 2 scenes already. And I said the creep, which was my mistake.
When you said that, I was thinking, oh, what is it? Is it in a creek? Is it some sort of creek? But when you said several, okay, I know of one creek with several stories. So I'm sort of a horror fan. Okay?
Lakas ng boses.
My feelings are strong, so my voice is loud. I'm not that much of a noob.
So I think this podcast is gonna go over 2 hours because right now we're already on an hour and about 10 minutes. Yeah.
We have another final segment.
Yeah, we still have the final segment. Let's
so
go.
It's piss break time.
Yes, let's take a piss break and then we're gonna go to the next part. See you guys then. And we're back with the last part. We took a long break for that.
Bladders are emptied, minds are cleared.
And we need to finish this. Well, not need. We prefer to finish this as fast as possible because if I'm calculating this correct, we are already over 2 hours and this.
My word.
Yeah. We could have maybe next time. What I'm thinking about this is maybe next time if we can do something similar to this, we can make it 2 separate episodes.
Friend, let's just split this episode into 2 hours.
Next time. No, what I'm saying is, if with this we can.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
We can separate. Well, we have Dr. K who has 3-hour episodes. So anyway, so we're going back to. Well, not going back. We're going to our next segment per se, which we've started
Which we've
from last
made
episode.
at this point a regular thing.
Yeah, so twice already makes it regular. So it's the recommendations that we have for different types of media. So with Van first, is it anime?
Yeah.
Okay, with anime or at
For
least
anime recommendation,
animation.
I'd like to recommend Hakata Tonkotsu Ramens. Now, preface, I have not finished this series, but with the 4 or 3 episodes I've watched, it's looking very promising. Think this. Think John Wick combined with Yakuza.
Okay.
So it's a whole city filled with assassins. You get the...
Just give them first, guys, because I don't. From what I've experienced, not a lot of people know about Yakuza, but not a lot of people know
Yakuza
about.
is a game series about this guy who's in the Yakuza, and it's very. At one hand, it's you get what you'd expect: brawls, killings, gang-related shit.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, you also get the slice of life of this very vibrant city. What's that city again?
Kamurocho. Kamurocho. It's a district, not a city.
Yeah, district. So you get gangs and very
Gangsters.
very profound slice of life. Tears and sadness along the way.
So let's go on to ramens.
Okay, so this anime series is about the city. It's filled with assassins, and the main character is a detective, and the Deuteragonist, if I worded that correctly, the sidekick is this cross-dressing assassin who was first sent to kill this detective because the detective was getting too nosy on the businesses of the gangs. Mm-hmm. But this assassin is very looked down upon by these gangs. He or she. Okay, I'll use they. This person is viewed as very amateur, just a killer and not an assassin.
Okay.
But in wanting to prove themselves, this assassin, does a 180 and decides to protect this detective from the killers sent to.
Very anime.
Yes. So if you're looking for a bit of, if you're a Yakuza fan, I'd recommend this series. If you're looking for a comedy slice of life, shenanigans where everyday life is John Wick.
So-
Hakata
so-
tonkotsu ramen.
So I get fuck. Let me just say my thoughts properly. So from what you said, at least and from the start with Yakuza and John Wick, and with the description that you gave, it's like if the anime was in the Yakuza world, but then everyone is like John Wick, or not everyone, but everyone is in like the John Wick
Everyone
style
is in that John Wick hotel
with the assassins in
assassin.
there. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Makes sense. It makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
That's cool. When did it start? Is the series
I th-
finished already?
I don't know if it's finished. I'm only 4 episodes in, but I think it's 2018.
Okay, so it should be finished. I mean, if it's season 1 at least,
Yeah, yeah,
like typical 12 episode anime.
yeah.
Wait, because I wanted to go connect this with this what the fuck, connect this with my next recommendation. But can you explain what the title has to do with the?
Okay, so this detective, even if he's earning dough,
Though.
his everyday meal, it's either this particular row fish eggs, or if he does not get to have that row, the fish eggs, the other option is Hakata tonkotsu ramens. It's ramen.
Is it a restaurant?
It's instant ramen. It's a kind of
I never
ramen.
knew about. Is that a real instant ramen? Have you searched about that?
No.
I want to try it now. If it's a real instant ramen, I have instant ramen at home.
The Utrecht, the crossdresser, says that this particular ramen is so oily that they do not prefer this type of ramen, but eats it anyway because
Let me just
wasting food is a no-no.
Since we're kind of known already, if people are watching a lot, that we go off tangent. I want to go off tangent with the ramen itself because it was weird since it's instant ramen. Do you know what tonkotsu ramen means?
No.
So tonkotsu, tonkotsu, from how I know it, tonkotsu is just basically like pork. If the base
Like
was
chashu.
no, chashu is like the meat that you serve with the ramen, right?
Okay.
But with ramen, you get different bases.
Okay.
So let's give a quick rundown first. So shio is soy sauce. So like if you get boiling hot water with soy sauce, then you get that like a very basic type of
so
sauce.
it's a salty kind
No.
of deal. So
Ironically, there's also shoyu. That's shoyu. Sorry, shoyu is soy sauce. Shio is salt. So there's also a salt.
well, both are salty.
But then I guess you can guess how like soy sauce has a specific taste to it.
Yeah, it's salty.
Well,
I'll agree to agree to disagree moment.
maybe but like maybe you can try first next time like
The
taste-
actual ramen and
no
not just soy sauce.
just try salt and then taste soy sauce and see if there's like a different
Okay,
different
fine.
characteristic to soy sauce.
Fine.
Anyway, the weird thing about we're talking about the tonkotsu ramen. So tonkotsu, when you say tonkotsu, from how I know it, it's like the more tedious type of ramen base, which is from boiling pork for a long time, or not just
Oh,
pork, like different
okay.
meats. But then it's usually just like a really solid like meat soup, I guess. And that's the base. So compare like shoyu.
So what's different here is that more attention is given to the meat as opposed to the broth and the
Oh yeah, there we go.
noodles.
There we go. The broth. There we go. The broth is like literally like when you think about cooking, right? You usually have when you say broth, you say okay, you just put like a some broth in this recipe, and then you're gonna make this whole recipe. But with tonkotsu, the soup is the broth. Like you're literally making a broth soup, and then that's what you eat with it. So
I'm not getting the difference.
with what with actual broth
With broth and soup.
with broth and soup. So do you cook with like those Knorr cubes?
No, I just
But do you know
cook
them?
chicken breast.
But do you know
Yes.
Knorr cubes?
Yes.
Like if you have Knorr cubes, that's like the equivalent of that is let's say like 1 cup of chicken soup or chicken broth,
Okay.
like liquefied chicken broth,
Okay.
whatever. And then you can put that in a recipe, like maybe spaghetti or not spaghetti. Spaghetti is a
And with
pasta.
what I've learned recently, the Mamu's truffle pasta, there's also Knorr there.
See like that, or So when you put that, it's just like it gives. Usually when you say broth, it gives flavor to this dish.
Okay.
But with tonkotsu and like the soup itself being like a pure broth, it's not giving flavor to this thing. It is the flavor to this thing. Like it is
Oh, okay.
like when
Okay.
you eat ramen, you eat like you get the noodles, the meat, and then you drink the soup.
Okay, yeah.
So it's not just like, oh, okay, this broth helped out. Like when you have tonkotsu ramen, or when different places have different styles, it really depends on how they make it, on how it'll taste. Because when you usually make broth, you usually just
They
have a
boil the
basic,
bones.
yeah. They usually have a basic recipe for it, like
Yeah.
this amount of bones boiled will give this amount of broth, and then when you cook something, okay, so you just could use like again 1 cup of broth or whatever. So it's still different from that. It's not. I guess it's the same thing I was saying earlier. It accentuates the
No, no,
flavor.
no, I'm getting it. It's
Yeah.
On one
How do you
hand,
say it?
normal ramen is soup plus broth.
Yeah, yeah.
Soup being
in a way,
water
in a
and
way.
maybe salt and pepper,
Yeah.
and broth being the boiled
Yeah,
bones.
that's
on
how
the
I
other
understand.
hand, on the other hand, tonkotsu ramens, from what you're saying, it's the base ingredient
Yeah.
itself.
You know what?
No additives.
If we ever go to Japan, I wanna have you eat this like one like the I think for me it's like the best ramen I've had. It's around like the same it's a cross. Sorry, it's a cross where the Tokyo 2020 Olympics should have been. So where the Olympic stage, what do you call that? Olympic whatever building is.
Coliseum.
Coliseum, yeah, where the Coliseum is or it was being built at the time I went there. It really gives you a perspective on what tonkotsu is, because when you get it, like when you get the, maybe I can post a picture. I think I posted it on Instagram. When you get a
Edit in tonkotsu ramens in this.
when you get the ramen itself, it's not like any ramen that you normally think of, because they boil the pork so much to the point where there's literal like it's still hot, but there's like gelatin floating over it.
Oh.
It's that much.
Well. I hope when we get to eat this,
Yeah.
specifically,
I want to
me,
do an episode in Japan, man.
I hope to get a ratatouille moment where I actually cry. I want to cry
Well,
when
I'm not-
I eat this. From how you're selling it to me, I want to cry.
I'm not saying it's like that. I'm just saying it's like you literally get how it's different from just having broth put inside a soup.
So when I eat this, it's not necessarily that I'll cry. It's that I think this is ramen.
This is
what
tonkotsu. What tonkotsu is. Not just ramen in general, because that might be too pretentious.
Well, I'm a pretentious guy, so
Maybe,
it's
maybe.
safe to assume that
I
if
guess-
I eat this, this is ramen.
I guess you got that from me saying that that's the best ramen I've ever had.
Yeah.
Because like, okay, before we go on to the next recommendation, I just want to add to this. Do you already know like what savory means?
Of course,
So that tonkotsu ramen I had, it was the most
it's
savory.
the pinnacle of.
Like literally had the most savoriness
I'm
because
looking forward
it
to
just
it.
had all of the flavor of the pork. So there.
Yeah.
Fuck man, I if I don't he probably won't watch this because he doesn't speak that good English. But my friend Yuichi, he's the one who showed me to that place, and I really appreciate it for being able to try that ramen, because there weren't any other foreigners.
So
in that
so
place.
this is it's like a street stall situation, not a big
no, it's a
What was that, ano? What was that
Restaurant?
restaurant? Yeah, the one I told you while I was in Japan. The one I ate at.
Ichiran.
Yeah,
That's the most basic one.
So it's not Ichiran. It's more.
It's
You're
not
saying-
Ichiran in the sense of being a popular like place where foreigners go, but it is still a.
But would you say okay? So I'm extracting a hot take. Is it better than Ichiran?
Oh yeah, fuck. That's every ramen place I've went to in Japan was better than Ichiran, and I've only I want to say
now that's a hot take.
yeah. But I want to say is that I didn't try Ichiran in Japan. I only for some reason I only tried Ichiran in Hong Kong, and then I also get the Ichiran instant noodles here in the Philippines. But I'm guessing since they're like a big chain, they don't have that much difference in flavor when it comes to different areas. But from how I see it,
This is leagues beyond Ichiran.
yeah. No, but from how I think you can get this like Ichiran being a chain restaurant, they would have to cater to everyone. They have to have like a very good solid base.
Well, just to soften the how should I say, the canceling you'd get from dissing Ichiran. I've tasted Mendokoro also, and it's way better than Ichiran.
Yeah, okay. I think that we can go from there. Mendokoro is also another Japanese ramen place here in the Philippines. Mendokoro is more similar to the one I'm talking about.
Okay, so
'Cause
yeah, I'm feeling good about this.
You remember, right? If you remember, like Mendokoro has like a thicker soup and all that.
Very thick.
Yeah, but what I'm saying about Ichiran is maybe not all people like a thick soup. Maybe not all people like a very savory type of ramen. So they have to tone it down so that most people will like
different
it.
strokes for different folks.
Yeah, and they're trying to go for majority of the folks that have the same
As
strokes.
opposed to the umami fetishists.
Yeah. So that's what I'm talking about. And circling back to why we talked about Ichiran and all these stuff right now and tonkotsu ramen, I was just wondering, how can an instant ramen be tonkotsu ramen? Because I told you, tonkotsu is like literally
The
pork broth.
process.
Yeah, I mean, really just boil everything. So
Well, I think the answer we're getting here is it can never be.
and maybe the Japanese people who watch the anime would get that, because if I remember correctly, whenever I buy instant ramen in like Japanese grocery stores, it's usually I can't read Japanese that good, but I usually get just shoyu or the shio, which is the soy sauce or the salt
What I
base.
typically get from Ichiran.
Yeah, but I don't recall ever getting a tonkotsu ramen, instant ramen.
Why is it not popular?
What?
Or maybe, well, you've tasted Mendokoro. Can you classify Mendokoro as tonkotsu?
Yeah, they have different types of ramen, man. They have different types of ramen. But then the
The one we're both thinking
their
about
base
probably.
ramen,
Yeah.
it's tonkotsu. From our
Okay.
Oh wait, I don't know if you're thinking about the same thing, because I remember when I tried that and I didn't know. Well, still right now I don't know that much about ramen. But when I asked for recommendations to my friend, it's usually the shoyu ramen that they recommend. So with that, with shoyu ramen, again, it's soup with soy sauce, but then usually the soup base is still
Light.
A light version of tonkotsu, as I would say it.
Yeah.
So it's still pork.
So if you're a newbie, you'd appreciate Ichiran, but if you get desensitized, the next step is
Yeah. Because okay, now that I think about it, what I'd say is maybe with different restaurants, like when I think about Mendokoro, I don't remember if they have tonkotsu, but I have tried tonkotsu again also with other restaurants. Usually their soup pork base is it kind of I don't know what Filipino dish this is, but it reminded me of some Filipino dish that's just like, this is very porky, but not in the same way as a ramen. So what I think about now, and maybe someone can correct me with this, is that when you have shio or shoyu ramen, it's tonkotsu ramen plus soy sauce plus salt or whatever.
and more water, I'm assuming.
That's the one thing I'm like really thinking about right now. Like maybe they don't have additional water. Maybe tonkotsu ramen is the base, and then you get shio with soy sauce or shoyu. Shoyu with salt and then shio with soy sauce. So that's what I can't say right now.
Maybe in future episodes, maybe not an actual podcast, but just a video food review of differentiating.
We can have a lot of different food here, man. One thing I told him about in personal messages was like, maybe we can do even samgyeopsal while just eating here, because I already have the stove for that, the portable stove. I can just eat it.
Well, that's a definite. As long as we don't get hit by a truck-kun, that will happen.
Yeah, let's try that, man. Fuck. Anyway, moving on. We spent 17 minutes on that. Going on to the next recommendation, which is from me this time. And this recommendation I've recommended to Van and all of our other friends in the past,
And I have watched it.
and they have liked it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your Chundere frenemy is actually an avid fan of the show, so that goes to show the quality of the show.
Anyway, the title of this show, it's So we went from anime. Now we're going to a series. It's not
Live
a
action.
Yeah, live action. Not a TV series because it's on Netflix. It's called Oh no, sorry. Anyway, it's called Midnight Diner. So it's on Netflix. There's Midnight Diner and then Midnight Diner Tokyo Stories. For everyone who can probably get confused, Midnight Diner, when you just say Midnight Diner, it's season 1 to 3. And then Netflix, I guess, purchased the rights to the show from season 4 onwards. So Midnight Diner Tokyo Stories is season 4 and 5. And I guess now I can say it's also a TV series because it was probably aired in Japanese TV before Netflix got it. And also there's 2 movies to it, which I recommend. I really watched all these episodes. I love it. Anyway, the show Midnight Diner. Would you say it's a slice of life?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a slice of life type of show, but
It's a slice of life for people who don't like slice of life. So if
oh
you're
really? I didn't know. I think
so if you're, I'm not a slice of life fan. At first, I was very hesitant when you when you said Konosuba to me and you described it as slice of life. I was not, I was not my thing until I
But then
eventually,
we'll recommend
I
Konosuba next
eventually
time.
I eventually accepted this as comedy as opposed to slice of life. So
Slice of comedy.
yeah. So as someone who's also watched the series, if you're a
Midnight
fan-
Diner, Midnight
Midnight Diner, if you're a fan of Yakuza, if you're into that shit, yeah, Midnight Diner is your thing.
You, I'll check this when I'm editing this. But you just said Midnight Diner. You skipped the D the whole time.
Well, I'm my brain may be working, but my liver is in a bit of a pinch.
And that affects your vocal cords as
Yes,
well.
yes.
Anyway, Midnight Diner. So let's just give a quick rundown on this. So Midnight Diner is about well, let's just say first, the Midnight Diner is, they'll say this in the intro, okay, so it's not a spoiler. It's about a diner that starts only from midnight until maybe about 6 to 8 a.m. They don't have any specialties. Like the chef there, he's also the owner, and he's just the general person who only works there. I'm not sure if like at least from how I know it, it's not a normal thing that only one person runs a whole diner or a restaurant thing in Japan. But here in the show, it's only him. So we did say it's a slice of life, but it's not a slice of life of the master. His name is Master in Japanese. I forgot what they call him. Do you remember what they call him?
Master.
Oh yeah, they also call him in an English way, like Master.
Master.
Yeah. So Master, he it's not about him. It's about the customers that he gets. So the show revolves around in the first season, they're mostly collecting or at least establishing. There we go. That's a better word.
The cast.
Yeah, they're establishing the cast of characters who usually go to the Midnight Diner. But after maybe season 1 or 2, there are more people also who go there who aren't regulars.
It's a one-off.
Yeah, they only have like one-off stories. So I guess it's a collection of short stories. It's a good way for people to see. You can watch it even if you don't want to start from the first episode. Though it's not common these days. Like what I wanted to say is like you can see this on TV and not care about watching the first episode, because I had that concern with a lot of series before where I don't want to watch this now because I didn't watch the first episode. I don't get what's happening. But with Midnight Diner, a lot of us actually had the mistake. Even my parents, when we watched it, that we started from Midnight Diner Tokyo Stories, which again I said is season 4, but it didn't matter. The Master was there. His purpose in the show is more of like now because of Dr. K, I'm thinking of him as like a therapist, but not in a way like just someone for people to vent out to or tell their stories to. But he doesn't
judge.
He doesn't judge. He doesn't meddle with people's lives. Sometimes
He might give some useful advice here or there,
stuff like that,
but not a value judgment on that person.
And that's something for me. I think I told you this before. Like I want to be someone like Master. Like I want to be just like someone like I'm not necessarily.
Well, at this point, I'm your master.
Are we admitting right now to our S&M relationship? Oh fuck. Anyway, it's like that. Like he's not necessarily like super close with everyone or anyone.
Yeah.
Actually, if in
And I think
in the diner.
his distance helps with the
Yeah.
objectivity of his advice.
Yeah, so there's that. And yeah, so people, there's usually, you can just see stories of people, some that you can maybe relate to, some that you may not, but they're all just good watches. And considering that it's a Netflix, right now it's a Netflix original, quote unquote. uh it's not like other Netflix shows where it's like, an hour for an episode. It's just like 20 minutes, like an anime or an old TV show. And for me, I personally appreciate that because I can drink like a bottle of beer in that
If
episode.
you want to drink and want to watch a
Oh,
good
that's
show,
really good to drink
it
with.
really sets the mood.
Fuck, that really helps because if you know anything about Japanese culture and going to restaurants, especially at that time of night, midnight, a lot of people usually just go to eat and then drink alcohol as well. So you want to talk? Do you want to talk about that? How drinking culture, at least when it comes to food, it's different with different.
No,
Different
well,
nations.
obviously, it's for a future episode.
But right now, I just want to say,
Well, we're avid drinkers, so it's a disservice to not put much research into this topic.
no. I want to just talk about what I know about it already. Based on the foreigners I've
So
talked
this
to
is a
before.
teaser.
Yeah. So, because even now, what we're doing is not common Filipino type of drinking, which is with pulutan, which is in the Philippines. Usually, if you're planning to drink, you're gonna eat before that because they say, oh yeah, I gotta get my stomach prepared for drinking, and then when
Which is to some extent scientifically accurate with how alcohol.
that's the part I don't know about with research because so you drink and then you eat, you have like maybe
You have
maybe
typically
na-
fatty sort of.
Yeah. just
snack.
just munching on stuff. But then in Japan, at least from how I've researched in the past, and maybe other countries as well. I forgot the other countries when I've talked to other people from
See,
other
this
countries.
is why this is only a teaser.
Yeah. So with other countries, it's a different way where they eat while they drink.
Oh.
So like with the research as you said, it still makes sense with the research that you said that you have to have something in your stomach when you drink. But then they're doing it at the same time instead of eating first and then drinking while eating something on the side. But then again, we're not doing that here in the show. We don't have pollutant. Maybe you want to do that sometimes. We have something to eat in the middle.
You know what we missed out on this episode?
What?
Our helpers were cooking
our,
snails.
Not our help. Your helpers.
Okay, my helpers were cooking snails.
Oh yeah, we could have done that next time. We can ask them to get more snails. Wait, I wanted to ask them. I don't know if you know this, but were the snails bought or did they just get them from random places?
Yeah. Well, it's safe to say they're both.
I don't know where to buy snails. Man.
My mother is not a dum-dum, and my mother would not allow them to just gather snails from outside. So
Okay, it's logically sound. So yeah, uh, that's it for Midnight Diner. I really love the show. 10 out of 10 for me, and I really want to get another season because right now. Oh, let me just also give you a preface with. I told you like there's 5 seasons and 2 movies. Did you watch the movies already?
no.
Because here, the movies are the only, I guess, technically episodes where Master's life is actually involved. Like it has something to do with him or, people that he. Okay, let me just give you this one. For the first movie, he had this girl who wanted to work in Midnight Diner because I forgot what the reason. Like I don't know if he just doesn't have enough money or he just wants another job. But because of that, there's more connection between Midnight Diner, the show, and then also Master's life because he's more involved with this
training
girl.
this apprentice.
Yeah. So there's that. I guess we can go on to the next
Okay,
recommendation.
so for our literature segment, I'd like to recommend Fire Punch. Admittedly, these segments of ours, our recommendation segment, it's not, of course, it's not as research as our actual topics. But
Actually, you know what I want to say about that? It's not researched in the in the traditional sense where we have to research about it before we do the episode, but we actually do more research with it, like in a typical.
We consume.
Yeah, we
the
consume
product,
more about it.
as opposed to just looking up this product and the intricacies and
Yes.
everything. So Fire Punch, what I'm recommending, I even forgot the name of the author, but it's the author of Chainsaw Man. So why do I choose Fire Punch over Chainsaw Man? Because logically, I thought this segment as something that we recommend shit that people would typically not find. So
Oh, you see, is Chainsaw Man more commonly?
Chainsaw Man will be getting an anime adaptation,
okay.
even though the author's first work was Fire Punch, which
Okay,
would
okay.
not be
Oh, yeah,
getting
yeah, yeah.
an anime adaptation anytime soon.
I get it.
So Fire Punch, from viewers who have read Chainsaw Man, the author's really into absurd things, gory, absurd, profound.
chainsaws.
Yeah. So as opposed to chainsaws, this one is a guy who's for his whole entire life, he's on fire. So you can imagine the suffering. His base power
I
is
wonder. I was just thinking, what if all of his works were just something man or something? Chainsaw Man.
Fire Punch, Chainsaw Man.
What do you go?
Maybe the next logical step is water or some shit. To a man
No,
who's
not
constantly
an element. Because we already went element and then a machine. Maybe like chair kick, or like I don't know, ceiling woman. She's just always on the ceiling.
Yeah, a girl would be a welcome entry.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
So Fire Punch, it's about this guy whose base power is regeneration. So he does not have any fire
And he's-
powers.
Okay.
But then this asshole who has godly fire powers, this guy's powers is basically anything he sets aflame will burn forever until he's consumed entirely.
Just
until it's just ashes.
Just like Sweet
but
Tooth
then
said,
but then Agni Fire Punch's power
it's
is
regeneration,
really, really strong regeneration.
like Deadpool.
Yeah. So combine Eternal Flame with Eternal Regeneration and you get Fire
Sweet
Punch.
Tooth.
Yeah, and like Chainsaw Man, there's very dark stuff in there. Incest is touched upon.
Just like Sweet Tooth.
Concentration camps is touched upon. And yeah, if you're an educated like me, Chainsaw Man. I mean Fire Punch. Because well, if you're an educated, Chainsaw Man is also quite a read. But if you're both an educated and a hipster, Fire Punch is
Sorry na.
yeah, Fire Punch.
Talking about Fire Punch the whole time. And then at the end, like, if you're an educated like me, Chainsaw Man.
Both apply, but one's more mainstream than the other.
Wait lang, ano ka ba yung... Okay. Fuck. Let's just finish the podcast. Sorry, I just find it so funny how he went from one to the other. Anyway, the last recommendation I have is something that I actually got from Van, and I think he can talk more about it, or we can talk about it in the same manner, which is Platina Jazz.
This is our music entry.
Yeah, music entry for today. And just to give you guys a quick rundown on what Platina Jazz is, they're basically a YouTube channel, and also they're also on Spotify. I don't know if they have like actual albums or anything, but the cool thing about them is that they make covers of anime music.
Yeah.
Not just anime songs, because they also covered Evangelion's "Fly Me to the Moon," which is
not Evangelion.
yeah, and it's already a jazz song, so it was kind of ironic for me to watch it. Then they were like, okay, so this isn't they're covering it as something from Evangelion, although it like a lot of people can watch it and then still appreciate it because it was a Frank Sinatra original. Is it? Fuck, I forgot about that.
I think it's not.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna talk about that next time. because I really love
That's a
Frank
whole
Sinatra.
different topic.
Yeah, I have a lot of shit about Frank Sinatra. Not shit. Good information about Frank Sinatra. He's not a shitty person. I love him.
It's good shit.
Yeah. So yeah, the first one that I got from Van here was "Gotta Knock a Little Harder," which is a bit relevant with my life right now. If you guys can listen to it, it's a really good song. Maybe some of you can relate to it. Maybe not, or maybe you can relate to just a part of it.
So
which is
what's the message of the song?
the message of the song. Wait. Well, if you're talking about like the chorus or at least the
Well,
bridge,
what you've taken away from it?
there's a lot of it. Well, if I'm doing that, I'm gonna talk about my life.
We're ending anyway, so it would be allowable if it was a tiny bit long.
Yeah, because not a lot of people will reach this part. Let's just finish up with a bit of a monkey shoulder and let's go on with this semi-therapy session. Anyway, because I was just listening to it on repeat on the way here, and I was like really listening to the lyrics. So it was Okay, let's give a background on this song first. It's from Cowboy Bebop,
Yes.
which is also another beloved anime series that we we definitely recommend, but we can specifically recommend it. On the
Why
next
bother
episode.
recommending? It's a classic. If you don't watch it, you're a normie.
I didn't watch it for a long time, man.
You were a normie for a long time. You were a pleb normie for a long time.
No.
And I was for a long time too because
don't-
as a kid, the animation turned me off of watching the show.
Okay, maybe we have different reasons because I have the same reason why I didn't watch Cowboy Bebop, and the one you recently watched was Evangelion for the longest time, because I had this assumption in my mind that I didn't. It's not justified because I didn't really do research upon it. Was that I thought that all of these classic good animes. I'm not sure about Gundam. We're gonna talk about that with our next guest next week.
There's a lot of Gundam,
Yeah.
so
Gundam or again Evangelion or Cowboy Bebop. I had this feeling that they were all kind of like One Piece, like where it's like a ton of episodes that you had to watch before you finish, like or you actually get into the
your assumption
Fandom.
was length. And
Yeah.
not
not girth. So yeah. But yeah, anyway, the length of it like my assumption on the length of the show turned me off. So if anyone has that same assumption, maybe this can help you or not. But it's only like 24 episodes plus a movie, and I haven't watched the movie yet because I couldn't find it.
and the show is a very complete watch.
I couldn't find a good pirated copy of the movie. so we have that.
So you're saying it's not on ya.
Yeah. So if you know Cowboy Bebop or how the story is, the song already makes sense. But for me personally, like my personal take on it, with the lyrics, I wish I could have typed down the lyrics here or at least copy pasted it. But anyway, from how I remember it, it's the first part of the song is just someone about being it's just about being someone who's closed off. Because there's a part there, like he says at first, like, "Oh, happiness is just like a word to me." Yeah, he don't. It doesn't. It's,
Happiness is just a lure to me.
this is a karaoke session now. Anyway, he like from the character's perspective or like the singer's perspective, like happiness is not. It's not a feeling that you can get. It's just something that you can do. That's how I see it. So I kind of have that feeling with how I'm like going on with my life right now. Like you can be happy or not, but then if you can be happy, that's just something that you do. It's not something that
It's more performative rather than something inside you.
yeah. I think that's a good way to say it. And then on the next part, like I'm not going through this with every single lyric, okay? But the next part that really struck to me was that the lyrics, because in Platina Jazz their version of it is a male singer, but the original version of "Gotta Knock a Little Harder" is by a female. I forgot her name, sorry. But then the most of the band is the Seatbelts, which is also a band made for Cowboy Bebop. Anyway, the next part of it was that really struck me was that he talks about a lot of people not a lot of people, or not a lot of people, like people have tried to get close to him, but he has really just pushed them aside. So it's talking about the door. Like a lot of people tried to get in the door, but he's locked it very hard to the point that nobody could get in. And then the next part, which is also again relatable, at least for me, which I feel like I've had that kind of feeling in a way where when I think that people don't get me or people don't relate to me or wouldn't understand me. If I had that assumption just without any justification, I would have like just not bothered listening to them, or I wouldn't have bothered developing my relationship with them to the point that they can.
Not bothered opening the door.
Yeah. Like, cause the thing I was thinking about this is like, yeah, maybe some people might think that they get you, and maybe they don't, but then they could eventually get you if you do communicate with them properly, right?
If both parties try.
Yeah, but then from my end, from my like life experience, it's like as soon as I see someone not getting me, I already shut the door on them because they wouldn't. I had this assumption where they never would have. They will never get me, no matter what I do, because that's just how I think. And again, it's not logical. It's more of like a feeling that I've had with I guess with life experience. Anyway, and I guess the next part is already towards like going to the conclusion of the story was like he realized that he wanted to change. Basically, that's how I understood it. He wanted to change. He wanted to finally change he wanted to change the first part of the song, which is like he wanted happiness to be something meaningful that could be not just a word to him, and maybe for the people that were trying to get into his door, he wanted to actually
Instead of opening, just break it.
no, that's different also. But like instead of just opening, instead of like what I said in the first part where he was closing the door to the people, he wanted to just open it to the people, like stuff like that. But it seems like and in this part of the song and also in my part of my life, it's like it even if this okay, I'm just saying this to you because you know how my life is, but even if might not be real, like the reality of things, it's more of how he feels or in how I feel, which is now I want to try going beyond that door and seeing the other people, because the important part of what I'm thinking about with the lyrics, and I remember right now, is that he said that things on the other side might not be as bad as it is right now.
Yeah.
Because like right now it is like really fucked up. Like things can be fucked up.
You're going through a phase.
Yeah. But then like, how to say this? For me right now, this part of the song is not really how I think, but I want to think like this, because how I think is beyond the story. If I want to really try to go beyond the store, I feel like it still could be worse. But then for what he says, it might not. It might not be worse. So you have to try.
You just have to open it.
Yeah, you have to try to open it. So from this part of the song, he's like, yeah, it's the title of the song. He's just trying to knock a little harder and break through the door, or if nobody's answering. And the thing that I really loved about this part of the song while I was going here, it was like because it gives a really aggressive impression when he's saying, "Oh God," with how the song is going. It's like, "I gotta knock a little harder, break through the door." But then when you just focus on the part that you say, "Gotta knock a little harder," it doesn't mean you're really going aggressive on it. Like you can start from like
It just means you just have to try and
yeah,
try.
you can start from just not even knocking and just doing like that, because that's already knocking it a little harder. And even like for someone who's like insecure or not confident with himself, or just not doesn't know what's gonna happen, breaking through the door already feels the same as knocking like this.
Yeah.
Like if I do this, I'm like, fuck, am I breaking through the door already? Because it feels like it. Like, so what if someone answers? It might fuck shit up. So it's like that. Like that's what I loved about this song when I was like listening to it. Like it has a really aggressive end point with the song, but really just like knocking a little harder. I hope it does like resonate with a lot of people. Like when you don't want to try something, or when you're afraid of trying something.
When you've dismissed your capability to connect with
Yeah.
others.
Well, that's specifically for me. You're just trying to knock a little harder and see what could happen, because I don't know if, again, if other people have had this, and but since you're already talking about me, like, I've had this assumption, like, even trying could have been worse. You get that, right? Like, you don't even have to do things, because people, like, there's a lot. I've seen a lot of like motivational stuff about don't try, just do. But even me, like, even just trying, I don't even want to
Even
try.
trying is doing.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah, like, even trying could have a lot of negative effects, and you don't want to. Maybe some people, I think maybe a lot of people will have this where, like, they're very reserved on trying stuff until they're sure that they can do it, so they don't even try.
They don't even knock.
Yeah, they don't even knock. So if you can listen to the song, I really recommend
So
it.
our message here is just knock.
Just knock, and then next time, knock a little harder, and then knock a little harder, and maybe if you're confident,
I'm 14 and this is deep.
yeah, and if you're confident, you can just fucking break through the door. No, really, like, you said you're 14 and this deep. I get that joke, but do you remember? I don't know if I showed you. I think I showed you, like, I think it was. Oh no, maybe you did watch it, because it's Super Eye Patch Wolf, where he did talk about the Cowboy Bebop, and how, like, when he was, I guess, 13, 14, he didn't really appreciate it in the same way as he was when he was older. Because, like, when you watch it as a 13, 14-year-old, or, like, a teenager in general,
Okay.
it just
okay.
feels fun.
Maybe the message here is if you've knocked when you're 13 and it wasn't a satisfactory knock, maybe at this point it'll be.
Maybe if you're at our age.
Yeah.
But anyway, fuck, we're already about almost 2 hours and 30 minutes in, almost 3 hours.
Yeah, this was a net.
This was a very good and long episode. This is what happens when we prepare stuff. So maybe next time we can split up our preparations, and maybe go for a longer recording with different episodes, and then we can take a break in between. So yeah, I guess this is it. Thank you guys for watching. Again, if you're watching this
See you, Space Cowboy.
well, that's not the end yet. Wait, do that at the end.
Okay.
If you're watching this on YouTube, please remember to like, subscribe, and comment. And
Please
share
remember
this.
to like a little harder.
Yeah, but don't like twice, because that's gonna remove your like. And when we do get this to a streaming service, or like just audio, then just
Spotify.
give us Spotify. I hope you can give us good rating. We want to see what we can do for these episodes, and again, also, like, tell us what we can do. Contact us. We have our Twitter, which is managed by Van. Facebook managed by me, which I haven't been doing a lot lately.
So
Instagram
even
as
we
well.
can knock a little harder.
Yeah, and Instagram, where we're also managed by me, and I haven't been doing a lot there. I haven't posted there in a while, but yeah, we hope we can see you guys in the next episode, and take care. If you're still watching this during COVID season, then stay safe. But if not, then keep knocking until you see whatever happens to you.
And see you, Space Cowboy.
See you, Space Cowboy.